Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody all around the world, hello and welcome to another live stream commentary on The Worshipper with me, your host, Jean-Luc Watch. We're back with Erickson Lubin versus Virgil Ortiz, the fight that will tell the tale of the story of another mega fight that's going to come down the line between potentially whoever wins and Boots Ennis. That's right, the sweepstakes starts now and the event starts today, and it's going to be a time and a half to go through and have some fun. We're going to have so much excitement, so much action. We're going to be calling the fights left, right, and center, and now we're getting ready to get into the second fight of the main card. And as we know, this fight had a lot of things going around when it came to some of the big matches that we wanted kind of went away. So some of the intrigue kind of went off. So because of that, we did a little bit of compromise. So let me get myself a little bit prepped, and then it also we still call the rest of the card, just not the entirety, just for the sake of interest. I know some people were as invested, but still we're gonna do what we do best. And now we're in the meat and potatoes, and everything's gonna come down the line. We just got heavyweight in. We got the heavyweight matchup coming up next, and then in the main event, it is indeed Ortiz versus Lubin, which was looking to be a clash of the Titans. Absolutely. We're so glad you're here. We're so glad you're tuning in. Hopefully you're enjoying your night or morning or afternoon, wherever you are watching and listening to this show and watching and listening to the fight as a whole. Also, we got people in the chat like Biscuits and Gloomy. What's going on, brother? Thanks for tuning in. So glad to see that you're with us on today. I was going to fight tonight, but missed when I'm 500 pounds. Jean-Luc, my brother, please step in for me. Hey, brother, look, if you're 500 pounds and you had to pull out, you don't expect me, because that's heavyweight. I ain't fighting no heavyweight. I tell you that right now. That ain't happening. That is well above my grade as a fighter. I promise you that. You had to take that pay cut. I'm sorry, the fans got to get refunded. There ain't gonna be no ain't gonna be no drama show with me being able to save the day. It ain't happening. No, that card's just going to be kaput. But either way, we tell them to come over here. If they can't see your fight, tell them to come in and see our show and our commentary, because this is going to be just as exciting as a fight would be inside of the ring. And right now, I believe we got Parker. Oh, I almost forgot. This brother, when we've had conversations about the heavyweight division before in the boxing world, this man, I believe his name is it Parker? Is it Joshua? Is it Joshua Parker? I think that's his name. But he has been somebody who has been eking up the ranks, at least in the American audiences, of somebody else that can be a real player down the line in the heavyweight landscape of the future of the big man division. And since that's the case, this is going to be my first time seeing him in full to witness what can potentially be another what's the word? Another rhinestone in the belt of the continuity of the heavyweight division. Will it make it shiny? Well, shinier. Will it make it even more enticing and intriguing? Where could we potentially be seeing another person who could down the line challenge an older Usyk, a prime, a Tama, an older Daniel Dubois, who again is still incredibly young? I want to see. I think it's Edwards. Is it Edwards Parker? What is his last name? I cannot remember for the life of me. They're probably going to bring it up on the screen. But regardless of which, hey, if you're just tuning in, please leave a like on the stream. Come on. Go ahead and get the likes up on this show. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We've done past, I believe, the 2,050 subscriber threshold. Yes, indeed, we're still growing, we're still thriving, we still are blowing up, and we're still doing everything under the sun to make this community the biggest in the world and the hottest show in all of the globe, right here on YouTube and on every podcasting platform imaginable. Again, we're so happy to be, we're so excited to be here with you live, calling these fights on today, and it's going to be so exciting. And again, I want to hear your thoughts and opinions. We're going to have talk about boxing throughout the entirety of the show, so please put your comments in the chat. Put your words in, with the voice of boxing. Let's see what you got to say on the matter with any questions involving the whole of the landscape of the boxing world as a whole in regards to with Lubin, with Ortiz, with the heavyweight division, with Inoue versus Nakatani coming out of line, Inoue versus Picasso, going with the likes of there's so much. Boots in his future, Devin Haney, Brian Norman, the confirmed fight with Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez. If you didn't know, breaking news that you need to know, Teo and Shakur are officially agreed upon for next year, at least reportedly. So we're going to talk about that more as the night goes on and next week. Oh, it's going to be exciting. But now that is firmly in the caps of what's going to happen with the essentially the landscape and story of the boxing wars. We can continue to watch it unfold and grow. But right now, we got a fight to talk about, and we got a fight to call. So, without further ado, it's the heavyweight division. It's time to get it started, shall we? Hey, come on, let's get started. Round one. Edwards. Is it Voris? Edwards versus Voris. In the 6th round of fair game, Edwards is in the red. No, excuse me, in the white trunks. Voris is in the black. Edwards in the white trunks. Voris is in the black trunks. Edwards, both of them, or I think Voris is 5. Was it 5-1 or 5-0? 5-1 or 5-0 with 5 KOs. And yeah, Voris is 5-1 or 5-0 with 5 KOs. Edwards is 4-0, 4 KOs, has been talked about as a very high prospect, and right now he's just starting to get physical a little bit with Voris trying to get in. Edwards is that. He's got some good, it's not a bad jab, I'm not going to lie. As we're 2 minutes, 10 seconds left into round one, popping it out, it looks very calm. He's got some decently long arms. I'm not saying he's not Tyson Fury, but it's pretty decent. It looks like he's trying to use his length pretty well, working his way in with that long arm of the law. Good lunging uppercut also from Edwards. He's a little stiff, but I see some of the latent talent that people are talking about right now. Hook to the body by Edwards as we're in 1:38 left in round one. Oh, big hook to the head that misses for Edwards. Another jab downstairs to the body. Voris is keeping more so his hands high, not necessarily trying to guard the body. Edwards is looking like he's taking what's available. Jab to the head, quick hook to the jab to the body, quick hook to the head by Edwards. 1:18 left in round one. Both Edwards just standing still, not really trying to goad Voris into actually doing something. Voris has just been kind of blocking, really staying stationary. Might either be trying to feel out what's going on, or really it doesn't want to go and risk throwing something. Edwards tried to change direction. Edwards got Voris on the ropes. Good hook upstairs. Another uppercut. He really likes that uppercut. He throws a long uppercut against his opposition. He really does. He can throw it close, but he really loves to offer that jab, offer a shot when you're trying to back up, really kind of reach for it. A little bit similar to D-Man whenever rotating in some capacity, just a little bit. 35 seconds left in round one of this fight. Again, it's been all Edwards this entire time. Very much easy work, not necessarily no struggle, no real nothing to write home about from the sense of shock and all, but there is some impressive nature. Edwards is again stalking, walking him down, being very much easy going in the ring. Another jab downstairs to the body, which he's been using the whole of the fight. 10 seconds left in round one. Big hook to the body by Voris as they start tying up in the corner. And the round is over. There we go. And the round ends for the first round of this heavyweight affair. Also, Love King, what's going on? How you doing? Fight night, baby, you don't go away. Absolutely, it's fight night, and we are so excited to be with you on today. Like I said, we're calling all of the action. Oh, I almost forgot to do shameless plug. If you want to support the channel and you like what you're hearing, hey, we got Cash App, PayPal, links in the description down below if you would like to support. And we still want to keep on hearing from you, and keep on liking the show, keep on sharing the show, keep on letting the world know that this is the place to be when calling and talking about all the stuff involving fights, live and just straight up, in just for entertainment as a whole. It's fun and exciting. I can't wait to see it. Ramon Vasquez, what's going on? Appreciate you tuning in to the show with us on today. Who's fighting right now? Right now it's Edwards versus Voris, and right now Edwards is winning round one. This is the heavyweight division, the second fight on the card of the affair, on the card of the main event of Ortiz versus Lubin, as we are going into round two. Right now Edwards is really just doing whatever he wants to Vorich right now. It hasn't really been an exciting affair where we see Edwards again popping the jab downstairs to the body, being very much even kill, trying to use that length, use that jab, going through both of them in the center of the ring right now. At the start of round 2, good uppercut to the body by Edwards, jab to the head. Yeah, and then again, both of them staying stationary. Vorich hasn't really thrown any amount of active punching at all in this fight. He's been very much shelling up and just trying to, I don't want to say survive, but just kind of patiently waiting. Another jab to the head, good straight right to the body by Edwards. It's I'm gonna be honest, it looks kind of like just practice right now. Edwards kind of looks like he's doing mitt work in the ring. Oh, good shot by Edwards, though. Looked like he might have stunned Vorich just a little bit, but even still. And now the ref is starting to talk to him. Wait a minute, hold on. Is he stopping it? What? Oh, wait, hold on. Ref stopping the fight. There's a cut under or on the left side of the eye of Vorich. I believe that came off of I think he was either off of a jab or off of an uppercut by Edwards. Ref stops the fight right now just to get the doctor checked in. Okay, now it's back into the ring. Like I said, not really a whole bunch of damage has been incurred on either side. Edwards has been being active and been doing what he wants, but it's just been very much rudimentary. Good jab by Edwards, got Vorich to the ropes. Vorich is again still shelling up, having his hands held high, not really doing anything. Edwards is slowly but surely working his way forward, literally inching his way. Good leaping hook into a right straight by Edwards. Now starts to throw 1-2 back to back in combination. That's good. That's a little bit more excitement. Another jab to the body. But again, Edwards, and now he switches stances going into southpaw. And I'm not gonna lie, Edwards is really going. I don't say going through the motions in a bad way, but I also don't mean it in a good way either. This is very much like, yeah. I get it. You want to be wary of the power of Vorich, who might try to come back with a big swing and a miss counter or big swing counter off of a block that can potentially go through. And now that eye's starting to really get cut. Okay, all right. Now that eye's starting to look bad. Now that eye's starting to look bad on Vorich. That's when 35 seconds left into round 2. Now that cut is really starting to look bad now on Vorich. It is right on like the slit of the eyelid. And it's looking bad. Like I said, he's taking damage, absolutely. And that cut is reopening up. And now, again, good gosh, dang. The ref calls a timeout to the ref calls time on the fight again to get another doctor stoppage. Yeah, it's bleeding heavy. It's looking bad. It's cut under the eyelid. Now they're going through counting numbers to see what he can see. The cut is on the top half of the eye socket area. And it's bleeding down as the action resumes. 10 seconds left in the round 3. Edwards again taking this round with relative ease. And it's actively rushing down, but it's not necessarily impeding what he's able to do. He just ain't firing nothing back. That's the biggest problem right now. He all this stuff's going on, and he ain't really firing anything back to him. He's not really firing anything, and I think it looks like he's cut on both sides of his eye. Both of his eyes are cut on each end, which is insane to see. I don't think I've ever seen that before, at least in this degree. But it's like I forgot to say, as the round ends, it's Edwards. But this ain't really, this ain't really anything all that. Like, I'm not gonna lie, if we wanted to talk about some more stuff while this fight was going on, I would not be mad. And this ain't because I'm trying to be, boring or I don't really care about Edwards. I'm excited to see what Edwards can do. I really am. But at the same vein, he's got to show me something. Right now, he's moving for somebody who's got a fighter who's just there to be hit. This is a real prime opportunity to show what you can do as a destructive force with somebody who is acting in this fight like a punch sponge, like in Vorage. This will be prime time for you not trying just to box in the way that you are, but really let your hands go and give yourself something to do some damage with. You know, as round 3 is going in the way right now, it ain't. I'm not saying that every fight's gonna be a knockout, but I mean, my gosh. My goodness, that fight most likely be a stoppage if that cut keeps getting worse. But in terms of like production, damage, ain't nothing else really happening. He better fight hard or those cuts gonna seal it. Yeah, no, it will. It will. I don't know why he is just guarding with his hands up. Not necessarily, he's not even throwing out a jab to attempt to get some level of activity going his own way. It's just stationary. That's bad. I ain't gonna lie, this is making for a bad fight. Crazy to say, because he ain't doing nothing. Outside of the cuts, again, it's the Edwards is again, he's showing some good deep offensive array. He's got a leaping left hook. He's got some good combinations. He really loves to throw off of those shots leading to an uppercut like he just landed right there with a minute 30 left in round 3. But it's like, my gosh. Good right hand by Edwards. Another good jab by Edwards. That one knocks his head back. All right. He being a little bit loose. A minute 15, 11 round. Minute 15, 11 round 3. It's kind of just, it's whatever right now. Yeah, like this ain't really as impressive. Now his face is getting worse. The blood's really starting to pool up now. Starting to spread across his face, but even still, Edwards could really, I mean, my gosh, Edwards, you don't got to. This ain't me trying to say get reckless, but this is me saying, hey man, this is a good chance to plant your feet. This is a good chance to really, like, sit down on these combinations. Instead of trying to be so sweet, trying to uppercut and then angle out and all that, like, crazy to say, I don't think all that's necessary in this fight. Well, right after I say that, fight's over. Well, shoot, my gosh, doggone it. All right. Yeah. I mean, crowd is incensed, absolutely. But it made sense to stop the fight because Vorage wasn't really throwing anything back. And the cut kept on exacerbating and bleeding more and more and more. And he wasn't really attempting to do anything. And he was just taking punishment, but he wasn't even taking that much punishment from the standpoint of like, oh, this is just getting bad. That was the best round we had seen Edwards have, but it was like, it made sense. The corner stopped the fight, the doctor stopped the fight because he just wasn't doing anything. Yeah, I get that. Sure, the cut it opened up like 3 times now, and it's like you want to risk the fighter, so I get it. But that wasn't the best. That wasn't the best. But let me see. Miss Queen, how you doing? Hey, it's my birthday today, Jean-Luc. Hey, wait a minute. Hold on.
Hey, look at this.
Wait a second. Oh my gosh. It's your birthday. Well, happy birthday. Congratulations on making it another year. We're so happy that you chose to spend it with us. And hey, hopefully you're treating yourself, and hopefully tonight's going to be a night that you get to have all your dreams come true, whatever regards they may be. Hopefully you're having fun, eating cake, celebrating with friends and family, even if it's by yourself. Just you having a good time is all we wish for you, and more life, more love, more support, and more everything good and great coming your way. Absolutely. We want you to be blessed. We want you to be safe. We want you to enjoy. And we hope that you had a spectacular birthday. And hopefully it only gets better as the night goes on. Absolutely. We are so excited that you're living another year and you're still going strong. Absolutely. Not calling you old. Not saying that you're old. Otherwise, I said you're still going strong. Like, oh my gosh, it was a struggle. I'm saying you're still going strong. Like all of us right now, you still doing your thing and you still making the world a better place just by you being around here. And you're going above and beyond in everything that you do. I can absolutely assure and believe it. And so I'm so excited that you chose to celebrate it with us. Absolutely. So, hey, give a big hand. Everybody, no, no, we don't be ominous. There we go. That's what I was trying to say. That's the button I was trying to say. Happy birthday to you, Miss Queen. Appreciate you coming through. We're so happy that you chose to celebrate. And hopefully, again, we can keep making your day even better. Absolutely. And stick around for as long as you want if you got a dip, because you got plans. I completely understand, because I tell you what, I'd be celebrating too if it was my day as well. Y'all know me. When I did my show, once I got out of there, I bought food, I had fun, and I've lived it up, absolutely, in my own special way. So I believe that you're going to do the exact same thing, and we're just so happy, and we celebrate you together, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. A toast to the most to you on your special day. I wish I had a mug, a chalice, so I... That's funny. I need one of them king's goblets so I can drink on the street. Oh man, and I got a balance of tea and water with me together, so I can be sure I'm not overdoing it with sugar, and so I can be well hydrated throughout the entirety of this fight call. But let me see. Let me see. What channel is the fight on? The fight's on the Zone. Fights on the Zone. It was on YouTube for the preliminary bouts. Then it went and transferred over to the Zone app for the main bouts. And so if you got the Zone, you can watch the Zone. If you ain't got the Zone, well, there's a plethora of ways to see it. I'm not going to say nothing, but I'm going to just say, if you know, and you know where to look. If you don't know where to look, trust me, if you start looking, you'll find where to look. I'm not about to get stricken with nothing for me saying something, but just so you know, there's always a means. What they be saying, Fire Stick Boys back outside? Is that the term that Two-Tone be saying all the time when he's talking? Especially in response to the news of the new information with the Zone, and what the new subscription plan is. It's what, $500 a year for 12 plus pay-per-views, over 185 fights. They're saying that this makes it so that you don't got to pay for pay-per-views anymore. But fans are in outrage and in an uproar, because they're saying, what you mean $500 for cards that in some months we ain't even going to have a card happen on the Zone? And with the track record of how boxing has been for the most part, just like with this fight right now, outside of the main event with Lubin versus Ortiz, hey, that with people having to pull out, it ain't, not again, things happen, but like some people are saying, I don't want to get gypped and get locked into something. I'm paying $44 a month for a year's worth of stuff that might not even be worth it. It's the opinion of people. Like I said, this whole the getting away from pay-per-view is gonna be a rocky road to deal with. It's gonna be a rocky road to really navigate. We want the change, but the main thing is we want it to come to TV for free. With us knowing that most likely ain't gonna happen anytime soon, what the next best thing is a subscription service that makes it so you can pay a flat rate and see all the big fights and small fights that you want, guaranteed, and you get everything else in extra. So it's like, we can get there, and this is a answer. The fans are saying this might not be the right answer, because buddy, 500 smackaroons, 500 shekels, $500 is a lot of money. That is a PlayStation 5. That is a car note. That is rent. That's a portion of rent for something. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's not even rent. That's a portion of rent. That's $500 that could finish off somebody's rent, which is an insane indictment on this country's economy. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But regardless of which, that's a whole other conversation. The main thing is, that's a lot of dough. That's the groceries for like a couple months. That is, shoot, that's a whole new computer. That's a television. That's a lot of things. That's a transmission. Well, maybe not a transmission. That car might cost a little bit more, but that's at least a fix on your car. At least if something's broken, that can at least cover that. That's a medical bill in some cases. So that's a lot of money. So I get why people are kind of irate about it. And again, based off the fact of what was promised by Turkey Out Chic and Riyadh, we're going to get pay-per-views. You ain't going to have to do nothing. You ain't going to have to buy nothing in lieu of, it's not going to be with the card on November 22nd. It's going to be afterwards and all that stuff. It's like everybody's up in arms. We want an answer, but this might not be the answer. Sounds good. But you also got to look at that. People can afford stuff like that. Now, $44 for a big fight, I can get that. $44 for a month. Yeah, but if you're trying to charge, we can see everything. Ooh. And most likely, if this is going to go into that type of system, which we know with subscriptions, stuff like that will go up. This goes beyond like a year or 2 years. So it could get up to $600, $700 the year afterwards. Next thing you know, it's $1,000 for a year's worth of fights. And even then, it could go downgrade as time goes on in terms of the quality. Because who knows what transpire, what may transpire. Because as we know in this boxing world, it is very much a unpredictable landscape in regards that many people just can't deal with. Yeah, maybe we just can't maybe we just can't deal with it. It's a bad thing. It can be a bad deal at times. And hopefully we get an answer. Absolutely. But again, right now they're showing video clips of the interview with Norman and is that Devin? Yeah, Devin Haney talking with each other. Did you see when Devin Haney was trying to quote or be kind of like Floyd Mayweather, and Norman called him out in the interview when it was like, you violate, I demonstrate, and Norman was like, hey man, hey, cut that stuff out. Why you trying to sound like Floyd? Be yourself, man. You don't got to be like him. You've been trying to emulate him all this time. What the world's going on? You need to be, you be yourself. And don't try to be somebody else type of situation. So it's got everybody saying, hey, has that been kind of what Devin Haney's been doing throughout some of his career? And you talk about with the fashion, you talk about with the mannerisms, with some of the stuff that he says in past press conferences, some people would say the stylistic nature at which he fights as well. Yeah, it's a little bit. It's more than a little bit. It's more. You see the influence of Floyd in the manner and career of the likes of Devin Haney. You do. And to a degree, this is a portion of the reason. It's not the whole reason. Also, I'm trying to make sure I got my it's not the whole reason, but it's a portion of the reason. And some people just don't like Devin Haney as a personality. It is, because they feel like, yeah, that inauthenticity of sorts. They don't question the heart, they don't question the chin, they don't question they question the chin. They don't question the heart. They don't question the ability. But they do question kind of the identity. You gotta question the identity. But again, that's another conversation that we can have throughout the entirety of the night tonight. And so it is. Let me make sure this is center. I see y'all chatting, I really do, but let me make sure this is center, because I want to make sure if we're gonna do production, we're gonna do this on the fly. This thing has been shaking the move. There we go. Okay, now we got it where it needs. There we go. Yes, indeed. Now we were cooking with grease. Let's go. Let's get it. So let me keep on reading the chat to see what you all had to say. I just want a new Louis Vuitton purse, new shoes, new car, ticket to Cardi B a concert. Ticket to the Cardi B concert, and I want to go there. Well, hopefully you get all that. Hey, look, if I could provide it for you, I would. Sadly, we still growing and flourishing. But hey, look, make the best of it. And I guarantee you, this is your day. In fact, this is your week to kind of just ask for whatever you want. I ain't gonna say you're gonna get a yes to everything, but you can definitely, you could definitely make it so that people feel like, hey, you know what? Yeah, we should treat her as the queen that she is, if you would say. Or I assume everybody here would agree. Absolutely. And so, just give me 1 minute. I gotta make sure I stay hydrated and all. with everything going down. But as we're still going through and talking through, because we got some dead time while the fights are coming up. Cause still got Amir Jones versus Shady. Is that Gamoro? I think it's Gamoro. Shady Gamoro is his name. We need to discuss the reactions of T.O. versus Shakur now being officially announced for next year. Yeah, it's going down. Like I said before, if you haven't heard, it's happening. It's happening. Or T.O. and Shakur are finally going to get in the ring with each other and fight, box, in what should look to be, from a technical perspective, something that is one of the most beautiful things that we'll see. I would assume. I'm not going to lie. I would assume. And with what we said before, we had conversations like months ago in regards to when this talking point was even a potential option of T.O. versus Shakur at 135 or at 140, who would have the upper hand. I said at 135, I think I said at 135, it would have been T.O. Because that T.O., when he was at his best, who beat Lomachenko, who had the power and the technical ability to, again, box with the best in the world and have the knockout artistry when he was locked in, to look like one of the hardest hitters that his sport had to offer. And at 140, might not be getting the same level of knockouts, but the athleticism looks to have gotten better. And even in his own boxing ability, they have improved. And he's still one of the stronger fighters in all the division. Shakur at 135 right now is reaching his peak, or is reaching the best we've seen him, especially after that Josh Padley fight. But now at 140, moving up in weight, would it be that it would be different? And I'm thinking that at 140, which what I believe this fight is going to be at, I would have to take T.O. I would have to take T.O. in this situation. Now, or at least on a very, and I mean very, very surface level. Very surface level. Because if De Los Santos was a problem, Teofimo Lopez is a nightmare when it comes to Shakur Stevenson. Because now, we don't talk about this enough. As again, we're getting ready for the Shady versus Amir Jones fight. They're walking to the ring right now. And if I'm on a delay with where you're watching the fight, I do apologize. If I'm ahead of you where you're watching the fight, I do apologize. As we know, in these streams, sometimes they're ahead, sometimes they're behind. But depending on where you are, it can be different. So I do apologize for that. If you need to pause it and wait for it to get to a certain point, then play it. Understandable. Go ahead and do that. I do that all the time. But we don't talk about this enough. T.O. is a very difficult matchup for Shakur. Not just because it's a big weight, but it's because T.O., he's got it in the IQ department. He's got it up here. T.O.'s got it up here just like with Shakur. Now, you can say Shakur's got it from a IQ perspective at a higher level. We're not going to act like we weren't saying, we're not going to act like we didn't see T.O. give another sublime boxer, Lomachenko, fits and beat him genuinely when he was young. And I dare say he's on as a stylistic fighter, he's become a better, well-rounded boxer even from then. When he beat Lomachenko, when he was pseudo undisputed or undisputed with a franchise title, I don't know what the word it was. Okay, that still is a whole mess and a half. But regardless of which, IQ, T.O.'s got it up here like with Shakur. Even if it's not at the same level, it's up here. And then with the unteachable framework in the boxing game, he's got that in a spade that even the best of the best across weight classes ain't got. He's one of the most physically gifted freaks of nature that we have in the boxing world today. That's not a question. That's the truth. We keep talking about Boots. We keep talking about Inoue. Absolutely. We talk about the Benavidez. We talk about the Bam Rodriguez. We talk about all these other insanely gifted athletic fighters. Not saying that the athletic part is the only thing that makes them great, but that's how we see it's undeniable. Tio still is that. There's an argument right now. Tio is still the best 140 pounder in the division today. He's still from a perspective of skill and ability. He's the best at 140 today. And so that's gonna be a good fight. That's gonna be a tough fight for sure. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be hard. Let me see. Fight Buzz TV. Hey, what's going on with you? Good to see you. How you doing? Appreciate you tuning into the show. We're so glad you're here with us on today. Let me see. Welch the GOAT muted my TV while watching the fights and listening to you. Well, hey man, look, I appreciate it. Hopefully, I can do it justice as we're calling these fights. Like I said, the commentary team, I'm not going to disrespect them. They do, I believe it's Chris Mannix and them doing the call on today. They do a great job. I'm not going to dishevel them, but hey, if you think I can do better, well, I'll lock in and do the best I can with this fight. As we got Shady versus Amari Jones. Amari Jones, 14-0. 12 KOs on his resume. All right, I didn't know that from Oakland, California. I didn't know he had that many KOs on his resume. So this is going to be what I would expect to see with what it seems to be with Amari Jones as a fight, at least from the whisper. I mean, very faint whispers that I've heard. Because I'm trying to keep up with as many prospects as possible. But some people, they fall through the cracks. So I can see it right. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be completely blunt. But regardless of which, we're going to see what this fight's going to be like. And hopefully, he can keep this power. I'm not going to say streak because I don't know if he's ended the fight by KO. Oh, they got to listen to Bumgarner. Oh, man. Hey, they got to listen on the call. Wow. All right. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That's pretty dope. Now, I wish they brought fighters to call fights for the main event. Because they used to have with Sugar Ray Leonard. They used to do it with George Foreman. They used to do it with Roy Jones Jr. I think they did with Ali at one point in time as well when he was calling other fights for some of his other competitors. That would be interesting to see. But regardless of which, well, we'll put a pin in that. Because right now the fight's starting. Hey, let's time get it started. Round one is now underway. Jones versus, I think it's Gamauer. I think it's Gamauer. If I'm saying it wrong, I do apologize. But again, it is Jones in the blue trunks and white gloves. Gamauer in the red trunks and red gloves. Right now, Jones, he is a tall buddy. He got that rat tail going down his back. Hopefully, he doesn't land on his back in this fight. As we are just starting the round, he's still applying that pressure. This is already looking like a lot more of an intense fight than what we saw with Edwards. Last time it was an absolute stinker of an affair. But regardless of which, back to center of the ring. Jones lays some shots to the body, gets pushed back by Gamauer. 2 minutes, 5 seconds left in round one. Hook to the body and hook to the head by Jones. Again, keeping control of the center of the ring, applying that pressure. Oh, he trying to really duck down and leap in with some shots, some straight punches and jabs. 1-2 by Gamauer misses. Minute 45 left in round one. Jones back into the center of the ring. Applying that pressure even while staying stationary. Jab to the body. Tries to land a hook around the guard of Gamauer, misses. 1-2 nearly lands as Gamauer tries to come in with the jab of his own, but they both clinch up and now they back to separate. 1 minute 15 seconds, or 1 minute 25 seconds left in round one of this fight. 2 jabs to the body by Jones right now. Really trying to apply that pace and really trying to use that length to get to Gamauer with another jab that misses. Gamauer is doing a decent job of trying to step inside of that jab to get away from him. But he's susceptible to getting caught with that right hand. He better be careful. He better be careful with that if you're Gamauer. As now Gamauer is the one applying a little pressure. Big right hand missing from Gamauer. Jones trying to fight out the corner now. Both of them posturing a little bit. Another jab. Jones turns the tables now. Oh, good shot by Jones. Good uppercut by Jones as well on the inside. 45 seconds left in round one right now. Another jab by Jones as he's walking forward. He's got Gamauer to the ropes. Gamauer tries to fight back. Ooh, that was a good intercepting jab. It wasn't strong, but Gamauer coming forward added to that power. Jones tries to land with a big 1-2, but I think it missed off the shoulder of Gamauer as he tried to commit with that right hand. 15 seconds left in the round one. Both of them back in the center of the ring. Both of them waiting on each other to make a move. Jones again moves forward. 10 seconds left in the round. Jones won this fight outright. Big swing and a miss by Gamauer. As Jones misses 2 hooks to the body, and the round is over. Yes, indeed. And so now, again, this is the now. I will say, as we still are going to. I still want to hear your questions about other things surrounding the boxing world throughout all of these fights. Like I said, we've had some news breaking, if you haven't heard, with T.O. and Shakur officially going, or seemingly, reportedly officially going to have a fight on, or in January. I believe, is it January 31st? I think it's the date I saw swirling around, but it looks like that fight is going to be legitimate. It's been agreed on. It's a done deal, which, hey, all's well and all is good. I want to hear your thoughts on that or anything else that you have to say. And to ask me some questions. I still want to hear from you all on anything. I can be your muse to help you figure out what's going on in the landscape of the sport. Now, back to the fight at hand with Jones versus Shady. I don't like that Jones, in some cases, at least downstairs to the body, jabs so slow. I don't like that. He is a long, lanky fighter. You can see it in his arms. His arms nearly touch his doggone knees, legitimately. And he has the reach, and he can get a whole bunch of leverage with that power. But the issue is, but at times, Gamauer, if Gamauer does indeed time it right, off of that lunging jab, he can get a counter on Jones. He really can. Just like he did right there. Oh, just like he could have had an opening right there as we are in round 2 of this fight. Another jab to the body by Jones. Now this year round, he's looking a little bit better. He's looking a little bit sharper. I'm good with that. All right. Maybe this isn't as big of an issue as I thought it was. As we're in 2:20 left in round 2. Going in right now. Jones is very much not trying to give up that sweet spot of that long and or mid-range area. Good jab by Jones as well as he catches Gamauer as he tries to step in slightly on the inside. Both of them still fighting at the center of the ring. 2 minutes left in round 2. Good right hand. Almost lands another right hand, does Jones, as he again starts to walk down Gamauer. He's still staying around that Golden Boy Circle logo, but he is so long that he is still applying forward pressure even by just following Gamauer. As they get into a little bit of tussle, nothing really lands in that regard. Tries to land a big a hook to the head, does Jones, but it misses. Double right hand to right straight to the body by Jones, misses as well. Yeah, Jones, at least in this fight, he is a tall brother. I'm not going to lie. Good jab, good right hand by Jones that time. All right. Finally connects clean with that 1-2 flush as we're at 1:05 left in round 2. Both of them again posturing and in the ring. Jones tries to land the hook, but gets caught with the right hand by Gamauer. I think that was the best shot of Gamauer's night of this early part of the fight. 50 seconds left, in round 2. Gamauer is now starting to hop in and out, trying to add more feints to his game a little bit. From a hand speed perspective, Gamauer has quicker hands than Jones, which would be great as counter opportunities. Only issue is he ain't landing no doggone counters to take advantage of that speed. Another good jab by Jones. Another good jab by Jones this time as he keeps the pressure on Gamauer. Straight right to the body by Jones. 1-2 misses. Gamauer trying to fight off the ropes. Circles back to the center of the ring. 10 seconds left in round 2. Good jab again by Jones. They see that jab of Jones. It ain't as quick, but this is why we always say timing is a great weapon. Good 1-2 by Gamauer as the round ends, but Jones still took that round. As the round is over. But this is why we always say that timing can beat speed, no matter how quick you think you are. That's because Jones, though he has a slower jab, and you would even think that him when the fight gets close wouldn't nearly be able to be as effective, he's able to time and land on Gamauer exactly when he's opening up to try to go for an attack. Also, because Gamauer ain't moving his head off the center line when he does attack, that leads to an easy opportunity. Okay, I just got to predict when you're going to come forward, and then boom, because your head's going to be there. Though you can beat me to the punch If I time it right, it won't matter. Because I'll get the better exchange, or it won't, or it'll go, or it'll just go around in the first place. Absolutely. After going into round 3 of this fight going away, I ain't gonna wait another 3,000 years for that series to end. If you're talking about One Piece, I hope not. I don't want that. I don't want the series to end, to be completely honest. And I wouldn't be surprised if it goes on another hiatus. I'd say, hey, do what you got to do, Oda, and take care of yourself and take care of the book. Because I want this is one of the greatest stories ever told. I do not want this ride to end. But nonetheless, we still got to get back to the fight at hand, like with Jones with the game out as we're in round 3. There we go. As we're in round 3 of the fight right now. Good 1-2 to the body by Jones again by Gamau, as he is still controlling that center of the ring. Good right hand by Jones that time. That one wobbled Gamau a little bit. It got him off balance. Now, it might have been that he was already off balance, but it could have actually hurt him. He's starting to get a little more intensity now. He's starting to land some uppercuts now. 2 minutes and 5 seconds left in round 3. This has been the most trouble, or the baddest position that Gamau's looked of this whole fight thus far. Gamau missing with the big right hand. Jones shoulder rolls it. Still stays put in the center of the ring is Jones. Inching forward. Good leaping hook by Jones to intercept Gamau's punch. We're at 1:45 left in the round. Good 1-2 by Jones, though the right hand misses. 1-2 by Gamau. Again, misses. He is just out of reach of Jones's chin. Another intercepting jab by Jones. Gamau misses an uppercut. 1:30 left in round 3 right now. Gamau now is in the center of the ring, but it is Jones still applying the pressure. Another great intercepting jab, or that might have been the right hand that time, that caught Gamau and it's really making him concerned with trying to engage and come on the inside and really lunge in. That Jones is keeping him at the distance to where Gamau's got to come forward, and he's got to really reach to get to him. And Jones just has to par that jab to get to him. Good right hand by Jones that time. That shot, that was good. That was a good shot by Jones. But back to the countering. No matter, Jones is just waiting for you to move an inch. As he's got him on the ropes now. Yet again. Now he's really trying to go and put a hurting on him. Most of the stuff still missed. Good job by Gamau to stay on the ropes and to use a lot of level changes to get out the way. As he lands with a big right hand, it does Jones. He's throwing bombs now. Wait a minute. I might have spoke too soon. Gamau might actually be in trouble. Good shot to the body by Jones. Great right hand. Oh, my gosh. A chopping right hand knocks down Gamau. Counts at 6, 7, 8. Gamau gets up. 10 seconds left in round 3. The pressure finally got to him. Good shot to the body by Jones. Another uppercut. Another right hand. Another chopping right hand by Jones. Uppercut. Big uppercut almost lands a trade with Gamau. And he's down again. Oh, he's down again. Wait a minute. It's over. It's over. Fight's over. Just like that. The fight's over. Jones ends it with another chopping right, ending with the uppercut downstairs in the waning seconds of the round 3. And my goodness, this speaks to, hey, look, now the buddy's what, 15-0, 13 KOs. Hey, that power is substantial. I'm going to tell you this. The start of that damaging affair wasn't even a clean start. When we look at how exactly this fight started to go downhill quick for Gamau. Mind you, I was saying that he was actually doing good staying on the ropes in that first kind of real cornered flurry that Jones threw at him. But apparently something had gotten through and something actually caught the buddy. More than just the pressure, something had pained him. Legit. And then subsequently afterwards, Jones kept the pressure on. Jones kept trying to throw kept trying to throw that hook with his lead left hand, though it was just not connected. But then once he got him into, I don't want to say a clinch, once Gamau really started to shell up and they got on the inside, Jones kept on throwing uppercuts to try to break through the guard, but all of that was a decoy just to go through and then chop down with a short right hand that completely caught that brother on the back of the head because Gamau was ducking down. It was more so behind the ear that he caught him. Picture perfect punch, as you're going to see in the replay right here. Great shot by Jones. And it was, again, I think it was also another chop hand. And this was the shot that ended. It was a looping right hand that really ended the show. Chopping my hand by Jones. Chopping my hand by Jones, caught him behind the ear. Bunch of uppercuts and left hook ends. And then the swinging, trading right hook put Gamauer down. And that was it. That was it. That was it. My gosh. Now I thought, now I couldn't see in the corner threw in the towel or if the ref just straight up stopped the fight. But I thought it was going to be that since it was the end of the round, he would let him get up and continue if he was able to make it to his feet and go into round 4. And then the show was going to be over. But regardless of which, hey, phenomenal performance. What? This man, he got some power. He's got some power. I'm telling you. And he's this wasn't bad. This wasn't bad. So credit to Jones, absolutely. And credit, again, that right hand is something lethal. That right hand was indeed something lethal. And I would love it for him to have a little bit better ability when it comes to being cleaner on the inside. That's just my preference. But even still, he got the job done. And you saw he got it done in dramatic and very much dominating fashion. So all credit to Jones. Absolutely. We can't say no. I can't take nothing away. I can't take nothing away. This brother did his thing. Did his thing and did it well. Absolutely. But now we still got more fights to cover. We still got more news to talk about. We still got more events to discuss surrounding this whole affair. One event I need to make sure that we talk about is indeed Boots getting here. For the sense of, do we think he's actually going to step in the ring with Virgil Ortiz, or the winner, if it's Lubin, whoever the world gets the win? Will he actually step into the ring and make a kerfuffle and say, hey, brother, give me the fight I want? Will he step in the ring if Erickson Lubin wins? Because of the fact that, hey, that fight may not be as anticipatory from a hyped up perspective, from the standpoint of what everybody really wants to see. Now, I'm just throwing out questions just as potential outcomes, because there is a situation where Erickson Lubin gets this upset. As much as I don't see it happening, there's a situation where Erickson Lubin can come through and upset the likes of Virgil Ortiz. He can. Because if you have enough power to knock down Fundora, I'm not saying Fundora has a granite chin, oh my gosh, but he does get tagged up a lot, but he's hard to put down and keep down. If you're able to put him into a war, hey, you got something you got to respect. Again, he's got 27 fights? I think it's 27 fights and 19 KOs? I believe is his record as a career. And we talked about how that power, if it gets into a landscape of, say he gets the better of some of these exchanges, they start trading, he starts getting the upper hand, all of a sudden, that can be bad. That can be bad. That can be dangerous. That can be really dangerous. And now, do I think it's going to happen? Nah. Be clear. No. No, I don't. Never in my, I'm not going to say never, but most likely in my wildest dreams, that would be the farthest thing from my mind. Because, again, this is Virgil Ortiz that we're talking about. This is a man who forget just being proven. This man is one of the best pressure fighters that we have in the sport today. This brother is a war-torn veteran and a war-torn tyrant. This cat won't budge for nothing when it comes to moving through and destroying his opposition. And we're going to see that defense, if it has indeed, or as we've been saying before throughout this entire lead up to this fight, how the defense has gotten better, how it's improved, how we've seen Ortiz be able to fix some of the issues that he's had earlier in the fight, or earlier in his career, and as we saw with Madrigal, become a smarter fighter, become a more methodical fighter, be able to really think his way into a war. And that's what's really hard to do for a lot of fighters who are so much of a when I say one track, their goal is destruction. Everybody, however, can't be a methodical destroyer. Everybody can't work. Everybody can't box their way into a fight, if that makes sense. And I think we talked about that earlier. Also, if you're just tuning in, hey, leave a like on the stream. Shameless plug, leave a like on the stream. Keep on sharing the show. Keep on subscribing. And hey, you can tell everybody you know this is the hottest place to be for everybody to listen and agree to. Absolutely. But to go back to the conversation, it is hard for a fighter who wants to really do damage to box their way into a fight. It's not something easy. And when I say it's not something easy, boxing your way into a fight means that you don't just go through and you're just completely wailing away. I'm just going to run right through you. There's a level of ability that I can't do my bread and butter until I beat him on a technical level and take away some of his game plan. Again, box his way into a fight. Some people, they fight their way out of a boxing match. And by that I mean they turn a fight into, they turn a fight into a boxing match and don't let it get to a fight, a brawl. But others, to turn that other table, that's difficult. And to play their game and then to go through and then say, okay, I beat you there. Now I got to go through and I'm going to beat you in what I do best. That's hard to do. It's hard. It's difficult to do. Everybody can't do it. Again, Tank, I don't care what we say about him as a fighter or as in terms of what he's not done. He's phenomenal at that. Anyway, phenomenal at that. We've seen multiple instances of people be able to box their way into a real war and to be like that you have no other option. And or I'm going to box you to the point that now you feel like you can go and fight me. And when you do that, now I got you. Like a Venus flytrap. Everything looks sweet and everything looks all good up until it ain't. And when it ain't, well, you're too late. You're caught. You're stuck. You can't go nowhere. You're locked in the vices of my own making. And you thought it was of your making. It ain't easy to do. I think we can see Virtual Ortiz today. I truly do. I truly do. Truly I do. And that's why I'm so excited to see this. Because one of the biggest questions with this whole affair, we are very much anticipated to see with Ortiz against Lubin, with Ortiz being the main guy that everybody's thinking was to come out this fight with the win, who's going to be fighting Boots. Well, we need to have some answers with you of what we think's going to happen with what you can do against the likes of Boots. What can you show to give us more or less confidence in that matchup? What can you show to give us more or less confidence in what we think your ability is going to be able to do against somebody like a Boots Ennis, who we've all, for the majority of the time, have been saying, this cat is built like a different breed. You can say he's unproven. You can say he ain't tested. You can say he ain't got this, that, the third. All of that is well and good and is understandable. That is the reality of Boots' career. This level of testing he hasn't been at yet. This level of experience and quality competition, he ain't been at yet. No problem there. But the talent is something that, regardless of the experience, is still undeniable. And even if you say this man ain't got what it takes to be, or even if you say this man doesn't deserve to be talked about as already the best in the division, as already better than everybody else, that's fine. You can't say he ain't got the goods to get there. You can't. And because you can't, brother, it's going to be a time. It's going to be a time. And this fight's going to be it. This fight is going to be a telltale marker if it does go in Ortiz's favor. Of us saying, yeah, this is going to be something dangerous. And I hope this ain't the case. I really do. I really do. But I hope we don't see that this fight gives people inclinations that it might not be as close as people were hyping it up to be when we look at this fight compared to what we know with Boots' talent based off the production. Again, as you know, with the boxing fan base, you're only as good as your last fight. Ain't that what that is the term? You're only as good as your last fight. You're only as good as your last affair. You're only as good as the last time we saw you. While people are keep still saying Devin Haney's going to get knocked out by Brian Norman Jr., in part because the last time we saw you against somebody, brother, you looked absolutely horrible. You looked terrible. And that is the last thing that we've seen of you that's going to give us inkling to say this is the most recent version. And as we are talking about if he's here, ladies and gentlemen, Boots is actually in the building. Hey, all right.
Hey, look at this.
Brother's sticking to his word. The man's sticking to his word. So he's legit. It seems like he's going to be, he's dressed in all black. He's looking like I don't want to say undercover cop, but this brother looks like he's in a witness protection program, trying to hide his identity and everything. I don't know why. Everybody knows he's here. Now that he's here, you might as well take it off and you show up and show out. Because brother, we need you to be front and center. We don't need you to be hidden. We need you to be loud and proud. Yeah, I'm here for whoever wins this fight. Plain and simple. Like I said earlier, Boots is being treated like the prize in this fight. Now, that might not be fair from the standpoint of he hasn't been tested and all that stuff. Absolutely. He ain't got a belt. Absolutely. There are other people in better contention or closer to a title opportunity or have championships than Boots. Absolutely. But with the ethos of boxing right now, it is widely considered valid that right now it's being propagated as Boots is the boogeyman that nobody wants to face, but everybody wants to face. Because now with everybody facing him, he's just getting into that cachet of elite status and more world renowned acclaim. The risk is starting to be worth the reward. And if you're the man to beat him, this is the threshold right now where it's going to be a huge bellowing up for your own ability. Virgil Ortiz said himself, hey buddy, nobody else took this, everybody else said no. I said yes to this fight. And if I beat him, but I'm going to get opportunities that I should have already had. I should have been in positions for championships and gotten one around my waist a while ago. Gotten fights a while ago. If I was in Boots' spirit. Some would call that jealousy. Some would call that fervor. Some would call that ire. Others would call that truth. Whatever side of the aisle you're on, all of those sentiments bleed or breed the same story. Boots is the person people want to fight to push their career forward. This buzz of this very fight with Ortiz and Lubin, which is indeed a phenomenal fight to make, is made even more enticing because of the fact of what's next. You shouldn't look past your opponent, but fans are looking past this fight because they see Boots as, okay, he's finally going to get the test that he deserves. Again, he's being treated like the prize. He's being treated like the goal. He's being treated like this is his story. I think even Virgil Ortiz even said that about his in terms of how this fight is being amped up, and everything surrounding this fight is leading into Boots is the man that everybody else is just living in his world type of situation. I might even actually be able to find that very clip real quick if I can before they actually start making ring walks for the other requisite amounts of what's the word? Dang it. Requisite amount of fights on the cards coming down the pipe. That's what I was trying to say. I don't know why I blanked for a second, but let me see real quick if I can go and find this oh, never mind. Excuse me. I thought I saw something else that was breaking, but no, I figured that. But let me see if I can find this interview real quick before we continue on with the rest of the card. Because this is important to say, because it does speak to the here we go. Yep. Right here. Let me play it right now for you all to witness and enjoy on the old picture-in-picture. Like I said, we're doing this on the fly, so I'm trying to set it up properly right before we get another fight going. There we go. Here we go. On the Wigan Max now. Again, we got Stephen Davis versus Fulcrum happening next. We got a little bit of a time, so I'm gonna play this clip real quick to let y'all see exactly what Virgil had to say in regards to Boots being the hero, quote unquote, of this story in boxing right now when involving anything with Virgil Ortiz?
I think about 154. I think about Virgil Ortiz is the man in that division. But there's this sense that maybe he's just keeping the seat warm for Boots. The sense I get is that Boots is the protagonist in that story. It's really about him. And you're going to be his test as opposed to the other way around. As a competitive fighter, how do you feel about that?
I don't like that at all. I don't like it at all because this is my story. In my point of view, it's my story. And yeah, in his point of view, it's his story. But I don't mind playing the villain if I need to in someone else's story because I know I'm a good person. I don't care about that.
I think about 154.
So like, and I'm not gonna lie, that's been true. That's been true. It's been true. I'll even say that about myself in this whole situation. Now, I know some people said I've been, fanboy of Boots. I've been trying to ride Boots. Again, if you've been here on this channel, you know I've had fair criticism and fair praise when it comes to talking about John Boots in this as a fighter as a whole. It's not. I'm not trying. I've been both a detractor and a fan. I've said this buddy's going to lose if he tries to get up top and go with this type of lack of defense and annoyance with his style. And if he doesn't get that right, he will not live up to his expectations. And he better find that out quick. And I've also said when he did fix it, okay, all right, now this is the fighter that's in the makings of being one of the best in the world down the line. I've tried to keep it as fair as possible. But the reality is, it's been everything involving Boots has been that Boots is the man that's going to be one of the biggest characters of this next chapter in boxing. And everything that happens surrounding him is all leading up to him. Is that unfair? Is that something that is sadly a product of the star power that Boots has garnered? It's unfair to Virgil Ortiz with the work he's put in. I get it. It's unfair to other people in the division. But that has been the story. And you can be the man to break this. And we're going to be honest. We're going to be honest. Virgil is the test for Boots. Just as much as Boots is the test for Virgil. Virgil's the established star, absolutely. In terms of we know the talent. He's been more proven. But we also need to also ask this question, just like Virgil's saying, hey, brother, I'm your test. Which he is. Boots is Virgil's test. I want to see what Boots can do against somebody that looks to be of the caliber of a future pound-for-pound contender. I want to see what Virgil Ortiz can be and if he can deal with this level of complete talent in one fighter. I'm not saying he's a complete fighter, though he can do a bunch of different things, so he's still got some stuff he needs to work on. But this is, I don't care what you feel, this is going to be the hardest test that we've seen Virgil Ortiz face from a talent perspective. Just like with Virgil being the hardest challenge Boots has ever faced in his entire perspective. Both of them are at a proving ground. And both of them, it should be treated as, hey, if he makes it through this test, hey man, Boots, you got to deal with that. Not just Virgil, now you got to deal with Boots. It should be a more seamless two-way street. Because they're both genuinely in a similar position. Yeah, for real, at least from my understanding. But let me see, Frank Lozano, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in to the show with us on today. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're live with it. Hopefully you're enjoying the show. Hopefully you're liking what we got going on. Hopefully you'll want to stick around and you'll keep on liking the stream and sharing the show with every fight that you know, or with everybody that you know. Absolutely, so we keep on building up this empire together. Let me see what you got to say. Name 5 fights Boots should take. Well, again, number 1 is Virgil Ortiz, absolutely. Then after that, number 2 would be Sebastian Fundora. Then after that would most likely be Xander Zayas. I would love to see that fight happen, to go through with a young star versus another young star for a potential title opportunity. If we do see Zayas beat a boss for the belts. And if it goes in the order that I said, if he would go and beat either Keith Thurman or Tim Tszyu. Shoot. Keith Thurman, depending on how he looks against Fundora, I would be very much intrigued to see how that fight would be like. So what's that? That's Thurman, that's Fundora, that's Virgil Ortiz. That's 3. I would say Boachuk, but now Adams. I want to see Boots against Adams because Boachuk beat Adams in the way that he did. This time, I would be interested in that fight. And no, I'm sorry. Before Adams, before saying Adams, I would place Adams with Madrimov. That's my 4th, Madrimov. I want to see Boots handle Madrimov, if he can handle Madrimov. Because I think, and we've come to a consensus, that might be a dire circumstance for Boots in the stylistic matchup. And the 5th is Backwam. The 5th is Backwam. The 5th is Backwam Murtazali. Backwam Murtazali looks like a fighter that should be handled by Boots from the standpoint of the style. But Backwam Murtazali can be the very thing that puts Boots in insane danger. Insane danger. Because of that power and that style. Again, we have questions about Boots going back to old ways. Especially if it's against people that he feels, okay, yeah, you can't touch me, so I can just take chances. And against Backwam, hey man, that fight with Tim Tszyu wasn't a fluke of just, I put him down. He's been doing that with people all of his career. And that was the scariest instance of somebody going through and legitimately ending the prime of a fighter. You can say Fundora played a part with the cut, absolutely. But Backwam finished the job. And he finished it dominant. He finished that in a bad way. Those would be my 5. Fundora, Ortiz, Madrimov, Keith Thurman, and then Backwam. Those would be my 5 that I would love to see. After getting ready to do the fight right now with the first round of what I believe this is the co-main event. I believe this is the co-main event right now. Going about as we start round 1 of this fight. Fogwell versus Stevens at super middleweight. Mind you, this I believe is the replacement for what was going to happen with Jojo Diaz and Floyd Schofield, who I believe was going to be on this card today. If I'm wrong, if I got that wrong, I do apologize. But I believe that's what was going to happen. But regardless of which, we're still calling the fights. We're at started around Stevens in the black trunks and black gloves, Fogum in the red trunks, in the white and red trunks, and white gloves. Starting to fight out with the clinch as we're going through. Overhand right by Stevens. And they clinch up again. Second clinch in the round with 2 minutes, 15 seconds left. Jab by Fogum misses. Both of them miss jabs against each other. Stevenson rolls a jab. Fogum tries to feint out. Stevenson lands a jab and gets on the inside. Stevenson lands some punches on the inside. Both of them are doing a little bit of dirty boxing to the body downstairs as they're both locked up in Mortal Kombat. Jab by Fogum misses. Both of them in the center of the ring. Jab to the body lands for Stevens. Another jab to the body lands for Stevens as they're in the ropes. A third clinch in the action. As they're going back out. 1:40 left in round 1. Slipped by Stevens. Fogum tries to land a 1-2. And now they're really hustling and tussling. Really trying to control each other in the center of the ring. Uppercut by Stevens nearly lands inside the clinch as they're back in the clinch. I mean, these people just ain't going anywhere. Good hook by Stevens. As Stevens is really trying to put his chest into the midst of Fogum. Good right hand by Stevens. He's really trying to, and with Fogum being the taller fighter and fighting very much upright, he is really trying to physically control Fogum and the whole dichotomy of the ring space, which he's going to try to turn it into 0. And no space at all for Fogum to really operate and do what he wants to do. After 1:53 right now in the fight. Still in round 1. I'm sorry, 45 seconds left. My apologies. In round 1 of this fight. Good uppercut to the body, a hook to the head. As they're going through, another hook misses. Stevenson is rolling under a lot of shots. Good job by Fogum. That's what the fifth clinch today. Stevens is really pressing in and is not letting Fulgham breathe. Every punch is leading into him, leaning into his chest. Good uppercut by Fulgham. That gives him a warning for trying to catch him in the back of the head. Gives him one to both of them, excuse me. As we're less than 10 seconds, or we're in 10 seconds left in the round. Good little pull counter by Fulgham. Tries to land it again, but misses. As the round is over. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. As we are still going through and watching this fight unfold, again, Stevens is really trying to press his way and most likely is looking to wear down the body and mind of Fulgham. By that I mean he's going to make Fulgham get tired trying to constantly push and clinch him up and fight him off and carrying that weight. And also mentally he's going to try to get Fulgham to get frustrated with constantly trying to deal with that clinch. Every time you go through and do something, you're always coming into my chest and you're always trying to push up on me. I don't like that. I don't want that. If it's possible he starts doing something that if Fulgham gets really angry and starts going and doing something illegal, not because it's what he is, but because he's just like, I'm sick of it. Like, get out, like, stop. The breaking point. And then that's when you know Stevens is going to probably try to go and attack a little bit more. As we're going into the next round of round 2 of this fight. Let me see. Fulgham has to create space. He does. It would be privy for him to stop stepping in on those shots. Specifically with his jab, as we see right there. And again, it's 2 minutes, 30 seconds at the start of round 2. Every time he throws a jab, he's stepping in. And to a degree, that's helping Stevens' case, to help you say, okay, boom, every time you step, you're vulnerable, and now I can go and put my head on your chest and put myself into your vicinity. Constantly. It would be better if Fulgham kept at bay. Every jab may not hit, but it keeps you keep the distance because Stevenson has to be the one to lunge in. So when he lunges in or when he slips off of the shot and tries to attack while you're still in the same spot, as Fulgham finally lands a good shot, and now we got Stevens on the ropes. As they go back to the clinch. That would give Stevens, or that would give Fulgham a better chance to land those counters with those long arms that he wants to do. He's doing pull counters. He's trying to pull back and land with that right straight and all this. He's doing all this stuff, which is fine, but he's doing it in the wrong capacity because that's not what you need to do for this type of fighter right now. Good jab. Yeah, see, just like that. As we're at 1:10 in round 2, when he threw that jab, he stayed stationary. He stayed put. You also be mindful to move around the ring a little bit instead of just jabbing straight up. Move. You can box going backwards. Good head movement. I would keep your hands up in this situation. They're trying to fight with your hands down to be better prepared to land these counters. But if you're gonna fight with length, guess what? Don't try to fight coming in to Stevens. Make Stevens do the work. Hook to the body. Now, lands a good jab right there. But then boom, uppercut misses by Fulgham. 15 seconds left in round 2. Now they're both starting to fight in the pocket now. Stevenson again clinching up. This is devolving quickly. And I know Stevens is trying to get him frustrated. I know he's trying to get him frustrated. And to a degree, it's starting to work a little bit. It's starting to work a little bit as the round is over. Also, please keep on liking the stream. Keep on sharing the show. And if you would like to support the show, again, we got Cash App and PayPal. Links down below. And we want everybody to know this is the place to be. Absolutely. Because you ain't going to get no better commentary than with us right here on the show, not just with this fight as a whole, but with Lubin with the Lubin Ortiz fight, and also with anything else involving the boxing world, as we are all on pins and needles, because from this week on, it's nothing but action left and right, up and down all the time, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be phenomenal. Already leading into January. We already got for the next 3 months. We got stuff lined up. Everybody's all excited for it. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions on anything, questions, comments, debates, concerns, all of it. Let me see what you got. Absolutely. Let's keep on engaging with each other. But as we're going into round 4? I believe it's round 4. I believe. Let me make sure I got my stuff. Is it round 4, right? It better be round 4 unless I've been reading wrong. Unless I'm reading right. Is it round 4? Round 3. No, this is round 3. I'm sorry. This is round 3 of this fight as it's going underway today. And again, 2 minutes, 40 seconds at the start of the round. Jab to the head by Fogle. Again, the jab works. It works when he's able to keep it a good right, good seat, you see, and right there. Through the jab, kept his distance, threw the jab at the end, then landed the right as Stevenson was lunging in, because he kept that distance and made Stevenson commit to something to go into the shot that you want to have. Which, thank God, she's finally doing it. But he's got to do that more often. He's got to do that more often. And jab to the head by Fogle. 2 minutes, 5 seconds left in round 3. Good right hand by Fogle. Fogle's winning this fight. It's just ugly. It can be a lot cleaner. It can be so much cleaner. It can be so much cleaner. 1-2 by Stevens. Then a hook that misses. Hook to the body that misses, and Fogle clinches up again. Or Stevens, clinches up again. I was surprised they don't do a clinch counter for this fight, like they did with Devin Haney. Because it's been happening left, right, and center all the time. Jab by Fogle misses. Another jab by Fogle misses. Hook to the body. Big swing and miss by Stevens. Fogle again trying to walk forward. He's too good jab by Fogle. Good slip, but then gets you don't have to let these clinches happen. See, that's the frustrating. You don't have to let this stuff happen. If you move your feet, and I'm not a good hook by Fogle that time, as Stevenson lands with a good shot of his own in kind of response. Jab by Stevens. Jab by Fogle. Another jab by Fogle. Excuse me, Fulgrim. My apologies. Good check hook by Fulgrim. Short shots to the body. Both of them in the clinch. Yet again, good right hand by Stevens that time. That was the best punch of the night for him. As Fulgrim turns the tables and lands the right hand of his own. 20 seconds into round 3. Jab to the head hook combination by Fulgrim. Hook to the body again by Fulgrim. Again, it's sloppy, but it's sloppy, but it's winning in the rounds. But it's frustrating. It really is. It really is. As we're going into the end of the round, but it's frustrating because he doesn't have to do this. That's what's angry. He doesn't have to do this. He doesn't have to accept the clinches. He doesn't have to go through and try to make his way and fight or accept Stevenson's fight. He can indeed move back. Dude, he can move back. Oh, that's Errol Spence. My gosh. Wow. That's Errol Spence. That's the first time I've seen him in a boxing vicinity in a hot minute. My goodness. Credit to him. Wow. That's the closest I've seen Errol Spence to be in the ring in about 3 years. This is insane. I tell you, I hope we actually see him in a locker room, actually getting ready for a fight in the near future. Hopefully that's the case as we're going into round 4 of this affair. Both fighters have to get better with their footwork. It's my thing with the footwork. Stevenson isn't the problem, because his whole game plan isn't predicated on trying to move good. His game plan is predicated on he's trying to frustrate you and be a raging bull while tiring you out. Once he closes the distance, again, the short shots, the clinching up, the physicality, the constantly being a nuisance of in your chest all the time. That's what he wants. That's what he wants to be. That's what he wants to do. That's what he wants to abide by. That is his game. Fulgrim's game is the one I hate. Fulgrim's game is the one where you're in this situation. You're doing too much that you don't need to do. You really are. You're doing too much that you don't need to do. See, and look, he got caught with the right hand right there, and all he had to do was lunge in. All he had to do was not lean forward on those jabs. That's all he has to do. I never say you should fight upright as a fighter. But in this situation, it might actually help him open up better counter opportunities instead of trying to constantly lean in with that jab. Because Stevens is so concerned with making the move forward and having to fight with the height disparity that he has to go and close the gap. So you can have the shots lined up for you without you having to do anything and still be able to stay safe and stay away from the constant physical toll of carrying his weight when he's trying to clinch up all the time. Good right hand by Fulgrim. A minute and 5 left in round 4. Both of them in the center of the ring. Fulgrim, in my opinion, has won every round in this fight, or the majority of rounds in this fight. Good hook by Stevens. And again, Stevens clinching up and getting physical with Fulgrim. Fulgrim, good jab. Jab to the head, shot to the body combination. Another jab, steps in, but now he's starting to deny the clinch. All right. Well, it worked until it didn't, and now they're back into the clinch again. As this has become a very sloppy and physical affair. What was that? Was that a Manny Pacquiao-esque 2-1 combination? Jumping in with almost both hands simultaneously by Fulgrim? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that at 5'10 and or 5'11 and or 6 feet? Good shot by Stevens. Oh my gosh. And see, this is where Fulgrim doesn't want to be. This is where Fulgrim doesn't want to be from the standpoint of trading with him. He don't want to be not granted. Because he eating some mean stuff as the round is over. But see, what caused that to happen? What caused that very shot? That shot that caught him. What was it that made it happen? It was because he went and he got overzealous. You saw Stevenson get him exactly where he wanted him to be. Even though Stevens was in the corner, he got him exactly where he wanted to be. He went through, and when he got to the corner, he opened up immensely. And then slip, roll, counter right there. And it caught him. Great chin by Fulgrim to take that shot. But even still, like all of that was because the physicality, the frustration. You're starting to see it. You're starting to see it. You're starting to see some of these big shots by Stevens land because Fulgrim's getting sick and tired of constantly having to deal with that type of clinch and that type of physical work. And now he's starting to get overzealous. And now, as we're starting round 5, Stevenson already lands 2 shots. Right there. Right there. He already lands right there. Now Stevenson's coming forward using the jab. Now we changed the game plan up a little bit. And they gave Stevenson that last round. As we go, again, it's round 5 of this fight, 2:25 left, or at the start of it. Stevenson trying to land a jab, lands it to the chest. Oh, good shot by Fulgrim. Finally fights out of the clinch of Stevens, and Maglit sends him off balance. Stevens is in the ropes again, and then yet again they clinch up with each other. And Stevens' mouthpiece comes out, and now they are giving him a new one. This might have been, I'm not going to say this was him trying to buy time. Could have been legitimately, it got knocked out. As they're back into the fray, Stevenson tries to land a jab, slips a jab of his own, or slips a jab from Fogram. Double jab by Stevens into a clinch, yet again. Overhand right misses for Stevens. Fogram slips a jab, but then gets put into a clinch yet again. Stevens again is almost bullying his way into the chest of Fogram. Both of them in center of the ring. Yet again, good God, I mean, great day in the morning. My gosh. Another jab by Fogram. Right hand by Fogram, and good hook by Stevens. That lands because Fogram missed with the lunging shot. Hook to the body. Good combination by Stevens on the inside. That was one of the best flurries of the night for Stevens. 3 shots downstairs with the hook going upstairs. Jab to the head by Stevens. Fogram tries to respond in the flurry. Stevens now responds with the flurry. Again, that dirty boxing of Stevens. Good right hand by Fogram. Whips the head back of Stevens, but Stevens is still standing. 36 seconds left in round 5. Double jab by Stevens that misses. Or one misses, one lands. Stevens misses the jab. Ooh, good shot to the body that time. That was a good shot by Stevens. It was a short hook to the body that time that landed for Stevens. As they're both clinching up yet again. Good hook to the body by Fogram. Another double hook by Stevens. 10 seconds left in the round. Uppercut by Fogram. Gosh, fans are good. Yeah, fans hate this. Good, great day. My gosh. My goodness.
Hey, look at this.
The fans are not
We
happy.
got some problems here.
The fans are not happy at all. The fans are absolutely livid with this performance right now. It is bad. It is bad. It's bad in a big way right now. Because everybody's watching this fight and saying this ain't what. Forget this ain't what we paid for. This ain't this is ugly. This is ugly. But slowly but surely, Stevens is starting to gain more and more success. Slowly but surely, Stevens is starting to move his way into a position that this fight, we're at the halfway point, and it's getting closer and closer. I dare say they might have given Stevens that round as well. Based off those last couple flurries. They might have been able to give Stevens that round. They really might have. And also, this is at middleweight, right? Also, we're in round 6. I can remember, is this at middleweight? It is middleweight or super middleweight? Oh, they almost look like a clash of heads with each other. As we're in a minute, 2 minutes 40 seconds into round 6. The ref finally steps in and said, hey, y'all better stop clinching and we better see a fight. Good hook by Stevens that time. As the ref chastises them, and now they're both in the mix. And now they're actually throwing with each other in the clinch. Okay. But they're still fighting with each other, still trying to clinch up and control positioning. 2 minutes, 10 seconds left in round at 6. Hook to the body. Hook to the head by Fogram. Good jab by Fogram to intercept him. 1-2 by Fogram. Back in center ring, jab by Stevens that lands. Hook to the body by Fogram. Big hook by Stevens that time. Still, they're doing more action, but they end up in the same position, clinching up with each other. Minute 40 left in round 6 right now. Uppercut to the head. Real good hook by Fogram. Good jab by Stevens, though. 120, minute 20 left in round 6. Good jab by Stevens. This might be the best round of the entire night, outside of I think like what round 2 or 3, the end of round 2 or 3. I'm sorry, the end of round 4 when Stevens had Fogle on the ropes. Back to the clinch with each other, but they're actually throwing at least a little bit more. Well, now they ain't. I think that's what the 30-something clinch that we've had on this fight. Good shot by Stevens. As I'm talking, that catches Fogle with his head held high. Both of them trade jabs with each other. Good double hook to the body and then uppercut to the head. "25 seconds left in round 6. Good jab by Stevens. That was a strong jab by Stevens that time. For, 15 seconds left in round 6. I'm sorry, 10 seconds left in round 6. My apologies. As the rounds get ready to end. Well, they started off clinching and they ended the same way. Regardless of the ref's discretion as the round is over. And I mean, my gosh. We got on Devin Haney for the way he was clinching them. This is absolutely, I mean, this is egregious. This is insane. This is ridiculous in a plethora of odds and circumstances. I mean, my gosh. I'm legit in like, I don't want to say shocked, but I'm kind of, it doesn't make sense. How can a fight have this much action, yet still be so frustrating to watch? And it's because they both doing stuff that it's like neither of them has to use the clinch to be as effective as they are. But they're still using the clinch to such a degree that it's making the fight so boring. And more importantly, both of them ain't as successful. As again, Stevenson comes out swinging, pushing Fogle back to the ropes with some big, heavy shots after starting out round 7. Another double hook by Stevens. As the action's picking up right now. Look, hopefully this is what the fight's going to be like for the rest of the show as we're in the second half of the affair. As they clinch up yet again. Man, all right. Well, rabbit punches by Stevens as Fogle tries to ramrod Stevens into the ropes. And what did I say? Look, if you aren't seeing the individual scorecard, the last 3 rounds they've been giving to Stevens, what did I tell you? This physical toll is making Fogle fight in a way that he doesn't want. Not to say he doesn't want to fight, like good uppercut by Fogle as I'm talking, but it's because he's getting frustrated. He's getting frustrated. It's slow, and Stevenson ain't doing what he needs to do to really capitalize on the now over aggression or somewhat over aggression by Fogle. But man, like it's the first half of the game plan is working. Of getting him frustrated and lulling him into fighting in a way he doesn't want to fight. Hook to the body by Stevens. Good uppercut by Fogle. Uppercut by Stevens on the inside. Both of them again back up in the clinch with each other. Fogle tries to walk, not tries, it's walking Stevens back to the ropes. And now he's near about to get, refs giving Fogle another warning about the clinching. One more time, he might get a point deducted. Jab to the head by Fogle that lands. Good jab by Stevens that pops the head back of Fogle. Minute 5, coming up on a minute 5 into round 7. As they move back in the clinch, good hook to the body, uppercut, good hook to the head, uppercut by Stevens, hook by Stevens as well that lands. 56 seconds left in round 7, hook to the head by Stevens, uppercut to the body by Fogle. Both of them in the clinch with each other yet again. A bunch of action now starting to lead into these clinches. Good jab by Stevens now. Uppercut by Fogle lands to the body. Might have been a tad low, but they'll let it slide. Double jab by Stevens. Overhand right by Stevens. Stevens is getting I told you. Did I not say what was going to work for Stevens with what he was trying to do? And lo and behold, it's happening. Yet again. Now he's starting to up that pressure, and he's now starting to not use the clinch, but to go and throw bigger damaging shots, and it's starting to land on Fogle because he's negated, or not negated, he's gotten away from that jab, and it's starting to try to hook with him. As again, Stevens keeps on hooking and landing. Oh, good shot by Fulgham. But I think Stevens took that round. I think Stevens took that round. I think Stevens took that round. I truly do think he took that round. I dare say he might be up on the card. He might be up on the card. He might be up on the card.
We got some problems
He might be up on the cards for this fight. I'm so serious. I am so serious. He might be up on these cards. He might be up on these cards because this has gotten into a dangerous situation. Now Fulgham is losing the aggressive extent, and he's landing some good shots, but it's more than just he's getting outworked. He's not landing at the rate nor at the damage that Stevens is landing. And he's also now so focused on the clinch work that he's gotten away from what was winning him the fight, which was the long-range shots. Because he got lulled into going from boxing to brawling, and now we see what's starting to take effect as we're going into round 8 of this fight. Round 8 of this fight. Both of them sitting in the ring. Double jab by Fulgham. Another jab by Stevens that just misses, or I might call it a shot that lands. Stevens, Fulgham now trying to go back to boxing. He's trying to go back to using that stick, using that jab. Hook to the body, good hook to the head by Fulgham. As they're going through, Stevenson walks Fulgham back to the ropes inside of the clinch. This has been a clinch-heavy fight all night long. Hook to the head by Fulgham. Hook to the head by Fulgham again. Oh, excuse me, jab to the head by Fulgham again. He's getting back on that. He's getting back on that stick now. Using that jab more. Getting back to what was working the first 3 rounds of this fight. Thankfully, finally, forget trying to just engage with him. Jab to the head. Both of them miss jabs to the head. Stevenson lands a jab to the body. Fulgham misses the jab. Stevenson misses a big lunging hook going into a clinch. As they're back in the center of the ring. Minute and 40 left in round 8 of this fight. Big hook by Fulgham. Jab to the head by Fulgham. Good jab by Stevens now. That goes through and lands. Stevens has got to be able to go, well, not Stevens. Fulgham's got to be able to stop getting into the weeds with Stevens. He just had a good game plan, and now he's going back to what was losing him the last 3 rounds of this fight. Stevens had some blood coming out from his nose, though. Might have been from one of those short rights or some of those jabs that landed on this round. As Fulgham is really trying to keep on the ropes. Oh my gosh. Oh, and Stevenson turns the fight around. Fulgham turned his head. Fulgham turned his back on Stevens while trying to get on the clinch. He almost got popped in the back of the head. Good right hand by Stevens that lands. And now Stevens walks Fulgham back to the ropes. Tries to push him off and lands overhand hooks. Both of them twisting and turning each other as they're both in the clinch. Hook to the body by Fulgham and that misses. Good hook to the head by Fulgham in the clinch. Another hook by Fulgham in the clinch. As they're both, good uppercut, big uppercut by Stevens in the clinch this time. As they're both jockeying for a position. Trying to work the way out of it. But it's been a physical, very much tumultuous affair. Stevenson rolls a punch and they go back into the clinch with each other. 10 seconds left in round 8. Hook to the head by Stevens. Uppercut by Stevens. As the round is over. My gosh. My goodness. My word. My Lord. This has gone from a boring fight to an exciting fight to a questionable fight. It's had every emotion possible. Every emotion imaginable. And as the fight's going on, thankfully it's gotten better. It has gotten better. Fulgham is either close to tying this fight or might be down on this fight, depending on how the judges see the pressure and infighting of Stevens working in or not working. with all of these clinches and exchanges that have been going through. Because I'm going to tell you this, both of them have been fighting an ugly fight. Both of them have been doing stuff that it's like, wow, this is confusing to say. This is a hard fight to judge. I'm not going to lie. As we're going into round 9 of this super middleweight bout. And this super middleweight, again, Stevens in the black gloves, Fulgham in the white gloves and white trunks. Stevens in the black gloves and black trunks. Big swing in the midst by Stevens that lands with short jab afterwards. Hook to the body. Fulgham was recently just trying to use the ropes as leverage to get away from some of these shots. And now Fulgham's got Stevens on the ropes, trying to land shots of his own, and Stevens uses the ropes to get away. 2:25 left in round 9. Good 3-punch combination by Stevens. Oh, I'm sorry, I think it was by Fulgham, actually. My apologies. The action is so muddied and so just sloppy. I'm trying to figure out who's throwing what. As they're both in the center of the ring, clinched up again, trying to work. It ain't pretty work, but they trying. They trying something. It ain't pretty, but they trying. Good hook by Fulgham. Fulgham with a lot of good shot by Fulgham that time. Fulgham tries to pivot out and land a shot. Another hook by Fulgham that lands on the inside. Stevens lands with the hook. Fulgham lands with the uppercut inside of the clinch. They both clinch up again. There's got to be at least 50 clinches that have happened in this fight. At least. 51. Now that they're back in the clinch. And it isn't even, and it isn't even that they're doing great inside work where out of the clinch they're both trying to do some good stuff. As Stevens lands an uppercut in the right hand. In tandem, I think like 2 times in a row. But like it's sloppy work. Like both of them are trying to do something and it just ain't working in either capacity. And it doesn't make for a great affair as Stevens lands a double hook. Fulgham lands an uppercut. Stevens lands a double hook again. Stevenson, again, hey, ref, call that. He's pushing his head down. He's pushing his head down with his forearm. Fulgham was trying to push Stevens' head down with his forearm. You need to call that, ref. Both of them been doing that this whole fight, but it's like that was the most blatant of all of them. I mean, this is I don't know how to feel about this fight. 33 seconds left in round 9. This is a confusing affair. Uppercut by Stevens off of a double hook combination. Both of them in the clinch again, back on the ropes, twisting and turning with you. Ref got caught up in the clinch that time. My goodness. My word. Good jab by Fulgham that lands. 10 seconds left in the round. Good uppercut, but the uppercut misses from Fulgham. Stevens lands a hook. As they're in the clinch again, I mean, this is great day. As the round is over, my gosh, my goodness. And hey, we got Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez sitting ringside again, as you can see by the title card, expected to fight Shakur Stevenson. Again, that fight reportedly has been all but agreed upon, so we're excited to see that. He looks good, looks happy. Hey, look, we've been saying he's had some struggles outside the ring that made him look kind of lose some of his joy and some of his ability. He's looking like he's in a lot better state now, though he still is a very much chaotic person. You figure outside the ring, I will say that. Regardless of which, man, I'm not going to lie, I wish it was him fighting right now. Because, boy, we could see some separation. This has been a very much nip and tuck affair in a bad way. In a very bad way. I don't know who's winning going into round 10. I don't. I would say Fulgham has gotten some advantage back, but I don't know. I don't know as we're going into round 10. I don't know. I truly don't know. Neither fighter can separate from each other. How would you score the fight? But I'd probably score this fight a draw right now. I'd probably score this fight a draw right now because I don't know who. I can't tell who's up. I had an idea because Stevens was gaining momentum. He was, but then he lost it, and then Fulgham lost it, and now it's like it's been tit for tat. I wouldn't be surprised if the winner of this round won this. And right now, if we go by the unofficial scorecard, Stevens is about round. But I don't even know if that's true. I do not know if that's true. Good Combination to the body by Stevens. It's been, and I mean, limbs are bounty. Somebody got to get a point taken away. At some point, I know it's round 10. Don't matter. Good hook to the body, hook to the head by Stevens. Finally, some clean work. Uppercut by Fogel. On the clinch, in the clinch. Yet again, angle. But hey now. Ref, you're calling about him putting the head down and you still ain't doing nothing about it. Come on. As they're both just about elbowing each other in the face, just consistently trying to just maul each other. Uppercut overhand right combination by Stevens. Hook to the body by Fogel. I mean, is the crowd booing? Wait a minute, is the crowd booing? Minute 25 left in round 10. Last round of the card. Back in the center of the ring. It's good uppercut by Fogel. And hook by Stevens. And a minute and five, that crowd is booing. Oh gosh, the crowd is booing. The crowd is hating this. The crowd is sick of it. If anybody paid money for this pay-per-view right now, they feeling mighty bad. Because this main card has not been living up to par for the majority. And this is the co-main event. Hook to the body by Stevens. Right hand by Stevens misses. Again, back in the clinch. Fogel clinching up Stevens yet again. Both of them working on the inside. Good right hand by Fogel. As Stevens got him on the ropes, but he couldn't capitalize when he turned him around. And they're back in the, good. At this point, 24 seconds left. At this point, just end the round early. At this point, end the round early. At this point, end it early. Speed up the clock, why don't you? Because this is, oh gosh, 10 seconds left. The crowd is booing viscerally right now. Hey, they hate this fight. My gosh. I tell you what, nobody came out a winner in this fight. Not one. Not a soul. Not a soul came out to win. I wouldn't be surprised if this fight was a draw. Not a soul came out looking good in this fight. Not a soul. Not a soul at all. And that is bad. That is incredibly bad. And you know why that's bad? Because of the fact that we are looking now with the loss of Canelo at 168. And yeah, you got Martinez, you got Mbili, and you got Shiraz. Sure, and you still have Canelo. But that has shed a light on this division that, hey, brother, time is winding up for somebody else to claim this throne as the it guy in this division. When the torchbearer is closer than we all may have realized to getting up and out of here. Not saying it's going to be immediate, but we're actively looking now. We're looking now. Because we're looking now, guess what? We need to see some sparks amongst the rest of the division in some capacity. And you got some names, but we're looking for some more. We want a division that is filled to the brim with some quality competition. You still got Caleb Plant. You still got Charlo. Sure, though we don't know when Charlo's coming back. We don't know if he ever going to come back. You got Resendez, who is a name, but still, even after that loss, after that win to Caleb Plant, is trying to keep that same hype that he gained, which has somewhat dissipated. Once you get out of that, all of a sudden it doesn't really become as much as big of a constructive division. That there's a bunch of stuff to get excited for. Like I said, we would assume, like some potentially if Billy Joe Saunders was still fighting, he would still be an active competitor if he hadn't ballooned up in weight after he retired, or just retired outright after the orbital bone injury. As real quick before I even continue, they call him they call him the winner. 96-94. $96.94 fools, John. $95.95. Majority draw. I thought so. You're doggone right, it's a majority draw. It's a majority draw. Nobody separated themselves from that fight. Not a soul. You can make an argument that Fogel maybe pulled it out with that last round. But even then, the amount of work he gave up after round 4, I don't know. I mean, that was ugly. That was. Commentators saying, get this over with. Get out of the ring. Leave. Are they even going to interview him? Oh my gosh. They're not even going to interview. Oh shoot. Brother, they're not even going to interview any of them after that fight. My gosh. My goodness. That was bad.
We got some problems.
And you know what's crazy? It had more action. It had more action than the fight with Edwards and Voris. Yet still, it was almost as bad of an affair. I mean, this was decrepit. This was terrible. Hey, look. Wait, hey, where's McCauley? That's what you know what? Where's McCauley? Where's McCauley? Sometimes they have like last minute fights that they put on the card if they got some time. Bring McCauley out one more time. Get us a fight where he's just, just showing up. Let's get that going. Put it back in the win column while he's getting ready for most likely a rematch with FA Java. Hey, bring him in on 10 minutes notice. Let him fight a random heavyweight, just who's on staff. Just to get some energy. Because I mean, this was in a fight that we're supposed to all get excited for between Ortiz and Lubin. This has completely taken the wind out of those sails. Oh yes, it has. Oh yes, it has. It ain't pretty, nor is it effective. It ain't pretty or effective. That's bad. Oh Lord, that's bad. That's bad in every capacity possible. My gosh. I mean, shoot. Great day in the morning. Lord knows. Don't ask me about that fight. Don't ask me about that fight. Fulgrim's corner didn't have a plan after the first round. I mean, they did. It just wasn't the plan to win. Their plan was at least to attempt to use your jab and all that stuff and be lanky. The straight right was an effective weapon. All of that, but once they got drowned into a firefight, then it was like, okay, we got to get back to boxing. And guess what? We couldn't. You know why? Because you were too far gone. This is the true. What Yu-Gi-Oh? I activate my trap card. That's what this is. That's exactly what this is. That's what this. I activate my trap card. Now you're stuck. All monsters who enter this portion of the ring, or all monsters in your deck, now are only relegated to close quarter combat, and you can't escape until you defeat and or knock down my monster in my deck. That's it. Again, if you watch Yu-Gi-Oh, you'll get the reference. But essentially, once you get stuck there, you're stuck there. You can't get out. And now, guess what Fulgrim had to do? He had to fight his way into a boxing match yet again, and he couldn't. Because notice, he tried to box. He went back to try going and using that length and range. And he did it for one round, and he won that round. And guess what happened? He lost all the other subsequent rounds. And to the point it was a draw, because the first half of the fight and the second half of the fight were a night and day difference. Because he couldn't box like what he wanted to do. Because he couldn't get out of the mud. He was stuck like tar. He was stuck. And even if he wanted to get away, he couldn't anymore. Because he willingly went and played Stevenson's game. Not Stevenson. Not Stevenson. I'm thinking of Shakur Stevenson. He willingly went and played Stevens' game. And didn't do the requisite things to stop that close clinch pressure. And if he had, it could have been a different story. But now you see what happens. And now it's a fight that we don't want to remember, thankfully. And now we're over. But we're done with that now. Now let's talk about the actual fight at hand. Hey, come on. Let's get it started. Come on, let's get it popping. Let's get it going. We want to talk. Let's get it started right now. Now we're at the nitty gritty. Now we're at the precipice of everything that we want to see. Now we're at the time where we are at what's going to be a war of not just attrition but power. Ortiz versus Lubin now is here at hand. And we are all getting ready to see if we think Ortiz is going to knock out Lubin, or if Lubin gets the upset and survives and potentially wins the victory. Or if he does even more of a shock and knocks out the likes of Virgil Ortiz. This is going to be interesting. Does anybody have any changes on what they think is going to happen with Ortiz versus Lubin in this fight that is billed to be an incredible elite affair amongst some of the heaviest hitters in all of boxing, or at least in all of this division? Because understand this completely. There is no longer there is no longer going to be a question after this fight of who the most dangerous puncher in this division is between Lubin and between Ortiz. Most likely, and people would say Backwam should be thrown in that vicinity. People would say, okay, maybe Boots should be thrown in that vicinity as well. That's perfectly fine, but with the de facto evidence at hand, even with all respect to Backwam, who hasn't been as active MIA for the Lord knows how long, from this one standpoint of longevity, it's been Lubin and it's been Ortiz as the two people that can crack the Kingdom Cup. Now, Fundora also in that conversation as well, but he's not a one-punch hitter quitter. He's more the volume and the ruthlessness of him going and fighting on the inside at 6'5" is stupid, but it works. And that is something that it'll break your face, but it won't put you, like Virgil will put you out, Lubin will put you out in one shot. That type of one-punch power, that is what we're banking on for what's going to be the baddest of the bad between this in this division. This is going to answer that question most likely for a lot of people. For a lot of people, who's the hardest hitter in this division? And even right now, most people would say it's already Ortiz. But again, this is that test. Also, real quick, to talk about Ryan Garcia. Hold on a minute. So I was listening to him talk about Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios, more about that fight, what's going to happen, what's it for, is it for a title or not, and all that stuff. Again, we had this conversation. It shouldn't be for a world championship. And I would say this, and this is going to sound, it's going to sound bad. This is going to sound bad. This is going to sound really bad. But with how we've been saying Ryan Garcia is as a boxer, there is a opportunity for us to actually have a conversation that even if Ryan Garcia won a belt at 147 and beats Barrios hypothetically, would he then be considered the weakest champion at 147? Would he be considered the weakest champion at 147? Because I'm not trying to say that as just hyperbole. We had to take a look at who reigns right now, and the people who reign right now is Norman, it's Norman, it's Barrios, it's who's the other one? Well, before I go through and start guessing, let me just look it up outright. Give me a minute. It's Norman, it's Barrios, it is who's the third one? Come on now. Here we go. Yep. I thought so. Yep. Abbas, Ortiz. That's 154. That's the 154 list. I'm sorry. 147. Norman, Crocker, Barrios, Rowley. I would, and most likely, at least with well-known acclaim, Lewis Crocker might not be the most well-established name of the people who are currently champions at 147. I get that completely. So for the sake of that argument, for the fan base as a whole, Ryan Garcia would be seen as a better champion than him strictly off of just the notoriety. No, I'm not saying that's true or not, because like I said, we have questions about Ryan Garcia. We do. We have a lot of them. But for the sake of conversation, we'll say that he's above Lewis Crocker as a talent for now. But then after that, if he beats Barrios, he would still be considered most likely the weakest champion out of everybody. Because then it would still be Crocker, Norman, and Rolly Romero, and Rolly beat you for the interim belt that you lost, and you would have been champ. So we got to assume that, hey, brother, you ain't better than him right now. So he will still be at the bottom rung. And it all brings up the question of, hey, man, this is why we're so keen on importance. There should be no world, from the standpoint of what you came into the sport as. This is why I keep saying this is a shock, because there should be no world where the likes of Ryan Garcia is seen as the third and or fourth weakest champion in the division when he is as well known as he is, and when he has the level of talent, or at least the level of hype and perceived talent that he came into the ring with when he was young. With the power, with the raw speed, all that's well and good, absolutely, but all of that is being predicated too. Even with that being the case, you would be considered, if you did beat Barrios, as the third weakest champion in the division by most people, under Crocker, only because Crocker is not nearly as well known. And so based off the sake of just known appeal, you would take his place in the wide array of boxing world. But outside of that, that's bad. That's really bad. Because somehow, some way, everybody else around you has improved except for you. That's where the real problem is. Everybody else around you has improved except for you. And so, at the championship level, yeah, it is a real question. Regardless of how much of a given you may feel it may be, we don't know if he is actually better than Barrios. Not because it's assumed that, the talent and the raw speed and all that stuff. We don't know. Because, again, he lost to Rolly, and we all knew he was way better than Rolly. Many people thought Rolly was worse than Barrios. Myself included. Rolly Romero wasn't on the level of Mario Barrios as a talent from what I saw when I was watching. And he just beat Ryan Garcia, and he got better. And so now I can't say that he's worse than Barrios, but I can say that Ryan Garcia, at least right now, ain't that far off, no matter how much we want to say his star power is up there, which it is. So it's a bad place to be. It's a real bad place to be. I'm not going to lie. It's a bad place to be. But again, right now we are looking forward to the ring walk of Ortiz and Lubin going down right here, right now. I still want to hear from you all. Who do you have winning? Who do you think is going to take this fight? Do you think it's going to end by knockout? Is anybody trying to make a change to their picks before we get on out of here and before we get them in the ring and the action started right here, right now? Because again, you're dealing with two of the heaviest hitters in the land. You're dealing with two people who have been really put through the ringer against a litany of tough competitors. Yes, Ortiz is undefeated, and Lubin has, I believe, 2 and/or 3 losses on his resume and was knocked out by the likes of Sebastian Fundora, the current champion at 154. But regardless of which, there could be an upset that comes about. When I say watch out for those counters, this was the biggest thing. Watch out for the counters of the likes of Lubin. We ain't saying that just to say that. We're saying we know with a slick-like fighter in Lubin who got popped like that, somewhat brings some echoes, though he doesn't fight like him, but some similarities to him of Arislani Lara when he fought in the new style that he's got. Yes, Lubin's got better legs right now from the standpoint of an outright movement, but the same slick countering that we've seen Lara evolve himself into, to turn himself into an absolute terminator of a knockout artist at 42 years old, the oldest champion in boxing right now. Lubin, though he's not that, has some qualities that can make that be an effective strategy, especially for somebody who is so aggressive, like with Ortiz. Now, that doesn't mean that Ortiz is going to be reckless, it's going to be stupid, it's going to be dumb trying to work his way on the inside and get his way into the ring, but it could still be something vicious. It could still be something insane. It could still be something that causes the world to hurt. Or we could see Lubin get blown up like a pufferfish, like he was against Sebastian Fundora. Hey, that could happen as well. That could happen as well. Don't forget, that could definitely happen. We could see Lubin get turned into get blown up yet again due to the outright physical pressure and dominance of the likes of Ortiz. And once he gets put into a real pressure fight, like he loses that exchange. He loses. And we could see a situation where the patience, which we've talked about before on this show, but excuse me, I'm so sorry, trying to get something out of my glasses. But the patience of one Virgil Ortiz, specifically what he showed in the Majimov fight, it's something that is indeed a very good way to force Lubin to make his own mistakes by proxy of, I'm getting antsy, I'm getting jittery, I'm getting concerned with what's going to come out when I'm trying to attack, or when I'm trying to even set something up. The facade of a move can negate a move entirely. The imagination can be the very thing that beats a man. We talk about all the time of fights won before you even step into the ring, oftentimes because of the fact that they beat themselves because of the idea of what's going to transpire scares or hinders them more than what actually takes place. And the idea of being wary of what's going to come through when you try to engage. When somebody is constantly stalking and pressuring. Also, listen to that crowd. My gosh. Listen to that buzz. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, this is a pro-Virgil crowd. Absolutely. I was scared they weren't going to be excited after that fight. But my gosh, they still got the energy, thankfully. But that is a real concerning aspect. And if we're talking about Lubin, it could sway him away from wanting to counter Ortiz. It could sway him away from taking opportunities that he would normally take against other opponents, because the idea of what can happen if I make a mistake can cause him to not make the move at all and open up an instance where now he is still going to get caught and you don't have the weapon that you need because you don't want to use it in the first place. That's not me saying that Lubin. That's not me saying that Lubin is scared. That's me saying that's what Virgil Ortiz can instill in him throughout this fight by being more methodical, but being able to be or to show a frame of force, not necessarily with the physical, oh yeah, the power of the boom, but with the fact that, oh, I'm seeing everything that you're doing. I'm able to, you're never able to quote Sean Porter. When he fought Terrence Crawford, that's the only fight I was never able to get fully comfortable in, because he saw everything and I was hesitant to make moves that I would normally make in my sleep, because I know that he knows, or rather I saw that he knew what I was going to do. And a whole arsenal that I would normally want to use, I couldn't. He either cut it off or I couldn't use it because I saw that he saw it before I could do it. And now I had to go see something else. And guess what? He saw that too. And Virgil, with the type of mind that he is, you can see that take place in this fight as well. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hold on, wait a minute. Wait a second. There we go. Okay, yeah, just had to make sure that we weren't going to lose the stream or anything else, and that everything goes relatively smooth on this channel. But again, appreciate y'all tuning in. So glad that you're here. Again, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Keep on sharing the show with everybody that you know. Let everybody know that this is the hottest place to be on the hottest show in all of the globe, right here on YouTube. Be sure to leave a like on the video if you haven't already. Get the likes up. It helps the algorithm to see exactly what we have going on. It helps to push this to more people and tells YouTube, hey, y'all are engaged. Y'all want this. Y'all like what we got going on, and you want more of it. So let's give the people what they want, and let's push this out to more people. That's what it helps to do, and we would appreciate it oh so much if you would indulge on willingly helping us out to grow as a channel. No question about it. And if you want to go and support the show, we also have Cash App and PayPal for the time being. Links down below in the description. If you can support, anything will do, and it means the world to me. Whatever you can give, absolutely. But just stick around, have some fun, because we got a fight to call, and we're getting ready to get it started right here, right now. Absolutely. Let me make sure I got my TV right so I can see it like I want to see it. Hold on. Wait a minute. We rocking and rolling. We's moving. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. We cooking with grease. We cooking with grease. And the grease about to be hot for this fight, because it's about to be an absolute barn burner. Get ready for a potential fight of the year contender with this fight between Ortiz and Lubin. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, whoever's watching. It's going to be a knockdown, drag-out brawl. It's going to be something where you can't sit still. Forget the fights that you just saw. And if this is your first time watching Virgil Ortiz, hey, I'm going to tell you this right now. Use the bathroom right now. And you got 30 seconds. Because once this fight begins, it can end quick. It can end quick and in a hurry on either end of the spectrum, but especially for the likes of a Virgil Ortiz, who has been known to put people in trouble quick and in a hurry. Again, 23 wins, 21 knockouts, undefeated in his entire career as a man who has just been able to plow through the competition left, right, and center. It's been a sight to behold. It's been an absolute joy to witness and enjoy and see unfold right before our eyes. And so I guarantee you it's gonna be a time, and it's gonna be fun, and they're walking to each other. They are meeting in the center of the ring. They're getting ready to step to each other. So this everybody get ready. Everybody get ready. Everybody get ready. If I'm behind on your stream, I apologize. If I'm ahead on your stream, I apologize. Depending on where you may be, it's going to be different for everybody. I do understand that. So I do apologize in advance. But with all that being said, we got a fight. We got a night. We got a headline main event, and we got the fight. The fight to confirm the opponent for boots is underway. Ortiz versus Lubin is now on. Let's get it started and popping. Round one of this show going underway at the start right now. Ortiz takes the front foot, already trying to apply pressure. Lubin throws a jab. Lubin throws another jab. Ortiz is still against smart. Ortiz throws a jab as well. I think that jab got through the guard. Jab to the body by Lubin. Ortiz again standing like a tree, being very much slowly trying to inch his way into range of destructive shots. 2 minutes, 20 seconds left in round one. Jab by Ortiz that misses. Lubin again very much using that jab, trying to give Ortiz something to worry about. It's not necessarily landing, but it is indeed in the way, in the eye vicinity of Ortiz. Coming up on 2 minutes into round one. Hook to the body by Ortiz. Now Ortiz has got Lubin on the ropes as he lands some good shots up to the body, or to the body. Another hook to the body by Ortiz as they're in the clinch. Oh Lord! Oh no! Flashbacks to the other fight. Ortiz with a high guard walking forward. Lubin really being judicial with his shots, trying to jab and back away from Ortiz. As they're both walking to each other, Ortiz throws another jab, feints an uppercut, but misses. Well, feints, he didn't throw it. Ortiz again still slowly working forward. Jab to the head by Ortiz. Lubin lands a jab of his own. Ortiz has landed the best shots of the night, which has been a jab, hooks to the body when Lubin gets on the ropes. Lubin again backing up to the ropes again, steps out the way. Lubin very much being very conservative with its punch output. Hook to the head's blocked from Lubin. 50 seconds left in round one right now. Lubin fighting he is fighting very conservatively. Hook to the body again by Ortiz as Lubin gets on the ropes and then gets out the way. Straight right by Ortiz. Straight right again by Ortiz that lands. A slight pull counter turned his head and landed a shot of his own. Ortiz again fighting off the back foot. Jab to the body by Ortiz. Jab to the head by Ortiz. Jab to the head by Lubin, excuse me. I'm sorry, jab to the head by Lubin. 15 seconds left in round one. Crowd's chanting his name. Ortiz. Straight right to the body by Ortiz. 3-punch combination by Ortiz. Another shot to the body by Ortiz. As he is working Lubin in the corner with single shots. Straight right to the head by Ortiz. As Ortiz wins that round, and the round is over. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. As they're working again, I'm not saying Lubin's scared, but I am saying that Lubin is fighting in a very cautious way. Lubin's fighting when I say very, I mean an insanely cautious, insanely conservative, very much hesitant type of light that he doesn't look like he wants to risk anything. He's fighting. There's a lot of respect being shown. I must say that. As round two is getting ready to start with each other, there's a lot of respect being shown by Ortiz right now, by Lubin, by Lubin. As round is started, 2 minutes 55 seconds of round two. Ortiz again, 3 minutes, start of round two. Ortiz lands another jab. 1-2 by Ortiz that lands. Lubin keeps pawing out with that jab, trying to keep space occupied. Ortiz again just being patient and cautious. Lubin with a straight right to the body. Ortiz slipping, trying to slip and pre-slip jabs. Ortiz lands a jab of his own and does a great straight right into a hook combination. He's got Lubin on the ropes yet again. Big hook by Ortiz. Now he's working on Lubin now. Lubin is on the ropes. He's not moving. Ortiz is working to the body. Slips and rolls under shots from Lubin and continues to try to do an onslaught. Methodical one-punch shots to try to damage Lubin. Blocks most of the stuff that Lubin tries to throw. Hook to the body by Ortiz again. Ortiz is showing great defensive prowess right now with that high guard, slipping and blocking most of the stuff while standing right in front of Lubin. Hook to the head, another overhand right by Ortiz. Squared up with Lubin now. Lubin is staying on the ropes. Lubin is not getting out with big shot around the guard for Ortiz. Big shot. Oh, Lubin's hurt. Lubin's hurt. Lubin's out. Lubin's out. It's over. Oh my gosh. Just like that. Just like that. Just like that. He knocks Lubin gets knocked out in 2 rounds by Virgil Ortiz. My gosh. Talk about a statement. Talk about putting a stamp on a performance. Talking about making your name known and gaining some respect. My gosh. Again, Lubin didn't do a whole bunch in trying to get out the way of what Ortiz was throwing. But brother Ortiz, when he got Lubin on the ropes and Lubin wasn't moving, that man did not waste time in attempting to do damage and did it in a great way. Picking and collecting shots and collecting data, slipping and ducking and not even ducking. No, excuse me. He was slipping, rolling, and ducking, all while walking forward and being in front of Lubin. Patiently working his way on the inside, never got over reckless, took his opportunities with counter shots when they were there, but was defensively sound, was able to catch and see what was coming, and then when Lubin gave him the opportunity to work, he went to work. He didn't get too wild either. He was precise. Hook to the body, hook to the head, hook to the body again. One punch at a time. And would pull down that guard to land shots. And that's exactly what did it. That's exactly what put him to sleep. That's exactly what got Lubin out of there. Hook to the body, as you can see, as it's showing the replay. Hook to the body. Blocked a bunch of the shots that Lubin was trying to throw. Lubin kept staying on the ropes. Ortiz fainting to the body. Hook to the head that time. Then overhand right to the head. Then boom. Kept on punching. Couple shots on the gloves. Uppercut through, and then overhand right to the head. Overhand right to the head. Pull down the glove, overhand right. Same thing that Benavidez did. And that's the shot that put him down. That on his feet. Out on his feet. Overhand right started the end. And it was the pull down and that hook that ended it. Oh, yeah. Oh, he was gone. He was gone. He was gone. Eyes were shut. Went to sleep while standing up. My goodness. Oh, my God. Oh, buddy. Oh, man. Yeah, buddy. Lubin was out on his feet. Yes, he was. And he didn't even attempt to get out of the way. See, that's what didn't make no sense. Why was Lubin, with all the slickness we said that he had, with the actual good feet that we said that he garnered, why was he not trying to take a page out of Madrimal's book and moving around the ring to get out of dodge? He had done it in round one. He did it in round one. Why did he stop? Why did he stop? Why in the world did he stop getting off the ropes? Was he trying to tire Ortiz out? Was he trying to go through and attempt to wear down Ortiz with rope-a-dope? Like, no. No. That is some questionable game planning on the side of Lubin and his team. I'm not going to lie. But a statement was made nonetheless. And now, Boots, you got to deal with that. Boots has to deal with that. Now, this is going to bring up a lot of questions. Because, well, I'm going to tell you this right now. Boots is not going to fight like that. I doubt he's going to sit on the ropes like that and let Ortiz just work like he wants to work in this very domain that he dominates in. But even still, if you get put in that situation, well, this is what you're dealing with. Somebody that knows tricks of the trade to open up what you are and turn you into nothing. And again, this man, he said, Ortiz is something incredible. I'm going to tell you this, he is something incredible. Not many people knock out Lubin. Not many people knock out Lubin. And this man did it with the greatest of ease. It took Fundora going down to knock out Lubin. This time, Ortiz did it with flying colors, with patience and precision. Literally. Patience and precision is what got him that knockout. Patience and precision and willingness to, like I say all the time with other fighters, take what is given. Not getting overzealous to go get something. But when the opportunity then arises, you then take advantage of it. And you work with what you got. Ortiz didn't rush in. Ortiz didn't attempt to force his way on the inside with Lubin. He let Lubin work where he wanted to work and slowly closed the gap. And he did it with smart defense and smart boxing. And now, brother got another knockout on his resume with a good name as well. And everybody better respect. Because, buddy, we know what's coming next. And now let's see if he actually comes into the ring. I'm going to turn my thing up real quick so I can make sure I can hear. Because this is, this was this is what Ortiz does. If you can't You can't, like, let's see. The question is, can Ortiz be patient enough to handle? Yes, he can. Yeah, he can. He can. Now, I'm not saying it's going to mean he's going to win. I'm not saying it's going to mean he's going to lose. But I'm saying he can't. This is the second time. This is the second time I've seen him wait to work. This is the second time I've seen him, just like with Madrimov, not force the issue. And he went and he didn't let the jab get him overzealous to try to go and land the counter shot. He didn't let him getting into range make it so that, okay, boom, it's time for me to pounce and attack because there is an open. He kept on waiting for the best possible option. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm not going to lie. With what Lubin did, it ain't the best. It's not going to be the best evaluation because, like, Lubin, we keep it unbiased on the show, don't we? Lubin was stupid. Lubin was stupid. Lubin wasn't even throwing back trying to catch Ortiz after he threw. He just stood. He sat there. He sat on the ropes for upwards of 15 seconds and without even getting off, without even attempting to move. And he did it in round one. I don't know what he was thinking. That was an ignorant game plan. And that isn't. Uh-oh, wait, hold on. Well, Virgil just called out Boots. Wait a minute.
Hey, look at this. We got some problems here. We got some problems here.
Uh-oh. He pushed him about his dad, called him saying he was ducking. Oh, man. Oh, they talking. Oh, they talking. They talking. Boots trying to make him bet. Boots said yeah. Boots said yeah. Ortiz said yeah. Boots went through, or Ortiz pressed Boots about saying how he was telling his dad, or he was calling out Ortiz's dad for saying that, or so he was going at Ortiz's dad, saying that his dad and Virgil were the ones that were ducking. And so now it's like there's some animosity. This is Virgil really feel disrespected. I'm not gonna lie. Nah, Virgil's hot. Nah, Virgil's hot. Virgil's legit mad. See, hold on. Wait a second. Time out. Hold on. Nah, Virgil mad. Like Boots is trying to say it's that time. Yeah, I want that fight. Make all the bets. Boots is playing some of the same games that we see with Jake Paul when he tries to get people to bet, put some money on it, and all that stuff. It's my time to shine, and all that rhetoric to get you off your game. Yeah, now again, both of them said yes. Both of them said they want that fight. Boots said, Eddie Hearn, where's the papers? Let's make it happen. So they called each other out. They both said they want to fight each other. So, hey, we at least got that on video. But Boots is coming in trying to say, oh, yeah, I'm going to win. I'm going to do this. We going to this, that, and the third. Again, because Boots is like, yeah, it's my time. Sure, absolutely. Virgil is hot. Virgil's mad. Like, Virgil is mad. Because he feels like, nah, you went, forget me. You went after my pops and my family saying that our family was ducking you. And that ain't true. And now it's like, hey, all right, yeah, this ain't, Ain't nobody gonna take nothing. He ain't saying that just because, oh, you ain't gonna take my shot at a belt. You ain't gonna take my interim title. Nah, he's like, nah, you ain't gonna. Everything that you said to me, everything that you talked about with me and my pops and my family, with how we were avoiding you, you trying to disrespect us, not as a fighter, but as like a man. Nah, we got issues. Boots was still having the hoodie on, smiling. Virgil was all about, nah. Everything you said in the lead up to all this stuff, you talking crazy. You ain't got no business talking like that. You better watch yourself, because this ain't what you think it is. He's moving like that. You can see it in his eyes. Virgil's moving like that. I'm not saying Boots ain't serious. He is. But the motivations right now for Virgil is pretty clear. Virgil hot. He mad. He still got a grudge from you saying I didn't want nothing to do with you. And you coming at my pop saying I don't want nothing to do with you either? Acting like we lied about what we said to you when it came to the whole deal, the fiasco? Don't play that. Don't play that. Don't try to smile and say, oh, you are a great fighter. You this, that, and the third. What a performance. And you went and said all that stuff previously. Don't try to smile in my face when you try to stab me in the back when it was over Twitter. No, don't do that. We got a problem. So brother, make this fight February. Virgil ain't take no damage. He ain't take no damage at all. Month of rest, get back in the gym, and you good to go. Make this fight for February. Make it directly after Shakur versus Teofimo Lopez. Make it happen. That's what I would love to see. Let me see. Listen to the rhythm. What's going on, brother? How you, or sister, whoever's behind the keys? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show with us on today. Let me see what you got to say. It's going to be a monster fight. We don't need no belts. That has been babysitting, ducking and hiding. Yeah. We don't need none of that. This fight don't need a belt right now with this type of animosity going into the fight. Nah, it don't need a belt, which is great. It don't need a lead up. If you want a belt, you got the interim belt. Fine. That's A-okay. This is a fight that right now, both Boots and Virgil have had questions about them and their level. Virgil, where have you been when it comes to why don't you have a title already? And you're being talked about as already the best in the division. And Boots, with us saying you haven't been tested at this type of elite level. And with all the drama surrounding you not moving up to 154, then actually moving up to 154, then taking a tune-up fight and all this stuff, when you said you wanted smoke, what is your real motivation? He's got a lot of baggage going on under his belt as well. There's a lot on the table right now, and we're going to find some answers. And I'm going to tell you this, both of them just had dominant performances. Ortiz had a dominant performance against a legit title contender. Boots had a dominant performance in his first weight class move up to 154. Yeah, Boots knocked his guy out quicker in 2 minutes. But Virgil knocked his guy out, though it was in 2 rounds. He knocked a way better opponent out that is taking people to go to war with to actually put down. This was another big heavy hitter. And this man he wasn't even able to throw anything. So like that, hey, we got storylines galore and we got hype aplenty, and we also have a reason for beef. More than just, I'm the man at this division and you're supposed to be being tested against me. You're not the hero, I'm the hero. It's more than that. It's gotten into family disrespect. Your dad talked about my dad and you talked about me and my dad. So guess what? This ain't just some ho-hum, two of the better fighters in the division going at it. There's some, I'm coming for more than just a win. I'm coming to take you out. I'm coming to put you down. Forget the hero story. I'm coming to not just gain your respect, but put some fear in you and get some payback. Retaliation. Like he said on the thing, retaliation. That's what this is. For Virgil Ortiz, that one word is his motivation for this entire fight. Retaliation. He's been saying, I'm the only buddy that wanted to take you on. He's been transparent about what he said about this whole saga with you and him in negotiations. And him and his people have been made out to be liars. He's taking that personally. Now he wants to get it back in blood. He wants to get it back in some real animosity. He wants some retaliation and revenge. Yes, buddy. Man, boy. My gosh. This fight can't come soon enough. This fight cannot come soon enough. My goodness, I can't wait for it. But man, with all that being said, does anybody have anything else they want to say on the show? Anybody have anything else they want to say on stream? Comments, suggestions, opinions on the whole affair. The identity of what you think this fight is going to be. Early predictions for who you have is winning. Your reactions to this fight as a whole. Because man, this was quick. We now know there are levels, and it's hard to say, even though he ain't got a belt, that Virgil shouldn't be seen as the best talent in the world right now at 154. Yeah, you still got Fundora, absolutely. You still got Bakram, absolutely. But man, buddy, you ain't lying when we say that even without a belt, this brother got respect and rapport that you ought to really pay attention to. But man, this division just got lit up. I told you, after this weekend, the cogs are moving. After this weekend, the cogs are going to be moving. And we're going to talk about all of those moving parts in the coming weeks. Because, man, it's going to be so much stuff to discuss. Absolutely. But if nobody else has anything that they need to say, I think we're going to wrap this show up and send it home. So with all of that being said, this has been another episode of, or live stream commentary of The Watchable with me, y'all. Jean Louis. We appreciate all of you tuning in and listening to the show and listening to this live fight commentary. It's been a blast working with you all. It's been a blast talking with you all. We got to see another insane KO in the greatness of Virgil Ortiz, and now it looks like Boots and Virgil are on an agreed upon collision course, and this is more than just a grudge match. This is a blood battle. Because there's some beef with family ties that everybody's got to pay for in one way or another. And man, it's going to make for an incredible affair. But we're going to talk about that next week, and I can't wait to see it with all of you. So please, leave a like on the stream before you get on out of here. Comment your thoughts and opinions on what you liked or didn't like about the show so we can improve. Be sure to keep on hitting the notification bell so you know exactly what we do on this show whenever we post, and rate us 5 stars on every podcasting platform, and listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts so you can have us anytime, any place, anywhere, at any given point in time, wherever you are, to have our show be in your ear, in the vicinity, to hopefully make your day brighter and make your day go a little bit fast, just a little bit, and have some fun in the process. But leave a like, comment on some opinions, subscribe to your channel, and share the show with everybody you know, so we can keep on building up this empire together and keep on growing this community. Because again, without you, this show isn't possible, and we can't do this without you, and we appreciate it oh so much. Thank you to everybody who tuned in to the live stream today. If you would like to support the channel, we got Cash App and PayPal, links down below in the description. While we're waiting on YouTube to process our monetization request and get us fully done, hey, this is the best way to do it. And if you can give, it would mean the world to me if you could, and anything you can give would be incredibly helpful and incredibly impactful. And we appreciate all of you so much for your time, for your effort, for your energy. And I've been Jean-Luc Welch. Y'all have been wonderful. Boots and Virgil, Crash Course. It's time to talk, because brother, that fight is here and it can't come soon enough. And we're going to talk about it next week. And I promise you, it's going to be a blast, and you're going to want to see exactly what we got to say. But like I said before, I've been Jean-Luc Welch. Y'all have been wonderful. Peace and love. We are out of here. Yes, sir. We're going to see you all on Tuesday. Same time, same place, same channel. Be safe. Be blessed. We out.